We're going live. You dingbats. Dingbat is such a funny word. I think it's Australian actually. Thinking about buying some stuff off TikTok shop. What should we buy? I don't know if there's anything interesting out there. What we need to do is make sure we can actually hear TikTok. So TikTok can hear us. Whoa. I might actually want to hear the game too. How do I think about it? Yo. We got audio. We got audio. Yep, it's on 0. I promise I'll do the Elden Ring thing tonight actually. Oh, what's happened? We made some kind of mistake here? Maybe. Is our layout okay? What's going on? Who's making the rules? Alright, I'll give it a minute or more. See what happens. Oh, you know, it could be the title. It could be the title. What, another one? How many crime scenes do we have to do? Yeah, I think it might be the title. We'll give it a try. Give it like 10 minutes maybe. Yeah, I've never seen it perform that way. Right, so I don't think it likes the language. Let's change that. Let's put it back to what it was. Yeah. I don't think it likes that language. What a shame. T-Rex is ridiculous. Right, we'll close you down. Since when does the channel split? See if it does anything weird. Save it for Saturday morning. Something like that. Right. Let's see if we're live this time. It's gonna move over, I assume. The font kind of sucks. Spread out. Right. It could be what I had written, or it could just be bad algorithm. Either way. Give this fair time. Let's test the audio. Yo? So quiet. Yo? So quiet. Super quiet indeed. I don't know. That sounds like a pain. What in the world? It's unusually disruptive. Let's see. We'll change it up later on. Is it actually showing the stream? What in the TikTok? A request up check audio. Yup. Yo. Oh, what was it done to my? Huh? That is not how it should be. Audio check. Check audio. Whoa, what? What is this? Huh. That is odd. Alright, it shouldn't happen like that. Alright, why did it just go into like a little square mode? I don't want it to be like that. Sir, the created can't create the creator. Why should I think there was such a creator? Hey, what's up, Montas? How you doing? That guy's funny, bro. He subscribed just to leave a hate comment. That is beautiful. Why did it do that though? I don't want my stream to be all weird like that. Rabbinic reason. What's up? Yes, you can, bro. I'm just trying to get it all set up. Trying to figure out what's going on with the stream. I don't like having it as a square. There we go. That's how I'd like it to be. Hello.
Yeah, well.
Hello, how you doing, bro?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad, my friend. What do you want to talk about?
So you said humans invented God.
Yeah.
Alright. So I'm going to give you an argument
Sure.
of why I accept Judaism and the mass revelation at Sinai of the Torah. Right?
Oh, that was a lot. Can you say that again, sorry?
The mass revelation of the Torah at Sinai. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm going to prove to you is that tens of thousands of reliable observers witness God appear to them at Sinai, give them the Ten Commandments.
How are you going to do that?
So I'll show you. So the mountain hovering over their head, including multiple people in the nation resurrecting and living on after the second commandment. Okay?
That was a lot, bro. I don't know if I was even tracking all that, to be fair with you, but I'll listen.
It includes everything in the Sinai revelation.
I'll listen. Go, shoot.
Though tens of thousands of sages attest today to receiving the Masorah, which is the transmission of the Torah and the mass revelation at Sinai, from the previous generation, recounting their number in the tens of thousands, and also receiving from these tens of thousands of sages before them that this process of generational transmission has always been in the tens of thousands since Sinai.
So
counting the
can I
number.
ask a quick question? What is meant by generational transmission? What is meant by that?
Yeah, every generation is receiving the Torah and the revelation from the prior generation. They're learning about what they heard.
Oh, so someone's just telling them stuff. Is that what you mean by transmission?
Well, it's transmitting the event from the initial tens of thousands.
But via someone, right? Someone's telling them it.
Well, it's tens of thousands of people. It's not just one person.
Yeah, but yeah,
it's the
like
previous
just for clarity, when you say in transmit, you mean somebody is telling somebody else something, just in clear, simple terms.
Right.
Cool.
But it's not just like a single claim. Rather, it's like
mean, it
years
doesn't matter.
of like transmission.
There's just some clarity on the word transmit. It's like
Right.
to demystify it a bit, you know.
So I'll make it easier with the premises so you understand. Okay. Premise
Sure.
one is sages are reliable. Okay. Premise
What's
two,
a sage?
Yeah, to be a sage, you have to have a high criteria of being observed to have piety, immense piety, and righteousness and intelligence.
So is that in real life, or is that all just subjective?
No, that's in real life. That's what they
Sorry,
classify it.
I didn't mean real life. I mean, like, I started when you said sage, yeah, I just started thinking about Zelda for some reason. But what I meant to say was, is that concrete or is that subjective?
Well, again, when anyone observing a reliable transmitter, it's going to be somewhat subjective, right? Like for example, you trust your mother, right? Give me an example.
Nah, not really, but sure, sure,
No?
sure.
Hey, who's someone you trust in your life? Give me someone you trust.
It doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to figure out where you go with this. So, like, you're saying a sage is.
Right, so I'm gonna assume you trust your dad. Okay, is that okay? That?
What is a sage though? Can you just clarify on that?
I just did. Okay, so I can do it all the time.
Someone who displays piety, is that what you said?
Someone who's observed to have a very high level of piety, righteousness, and intelligence.
So
throughout their life.
what is meant by piety?
Yeah, you don't know what being pious is? Like, you know.
I mean, I want to know what you mean by it, because we all say stuff, but sometimes we mean different things.
Yeah, so having you can say a high level of intelligence, and piety can also mean righteousness when displaying that intelligence. So again, it's being observed to have the two fundamental standards to be a reliable transmitter, right?
But could you
Like,
just
for
say, like,
example,
a sage is someone that's just like an expert in one arena?
Well, it's not just one arena, right? Because like you would say, for example, I'm gonna assume this. Let me just assume this because it's easier. Let's just say you trust your brother, okay? If you have a brother, right? You would
Yeah.
probably trust your brother because you observe your brother to be kind to you, to treat you well throughout your life, and he also has a somewhat degree of intelligence. So you would trust what he says. So if your brother went,
So I couldn't trust my brother if he was unkind or just not smart.
well, you'd be less likely you would trust him, right? Because
But
if your brother's
I
not-
could trust him to be unkind and, you know, dumb. I could
Well, then you wouldn't
I could
consider
trust
him
that
a-
he's gonna be that.
Well, then you wouldn't consider him a reliable transmitter, right? If
I don't
someone is
know.
known to be, for example, wicked,
This seems
not
mighty
like-
subjective, you know.
again, everything in regards to observable transmitters is somewhat subjective, right?
I mean,
but again,
it seems to be entirely subjective.
it's not entire. Again, I'll explain. Okay. In
Sure.
the same way that you can trust your brother, or trust a colleague, or trust a teacher, or trust an advisor, because you've observed them to have a specific level of righteousness and piety, so you know that they most likely will not fabricate something. or they
Yeah,
most
I
likely
don't
will
know.
not-
I don't necessarily agree with that, but I'm listening to your argument.
You don't
but,
trust anyone in your life?
But just
Wait,
no. I don't think. Well, yes, personally, I don't trust anyone in my life. Right, trust is something that has to be
Okay,
earned.
okay.
Just to be clear, trust is something
How
that
do
has
they
to
earn
be
your
earned.
trust, though? How do they earn your trust?
Through rapport. You could say like in terms of like if I was studying and I was gonna take like sources for something, their credibility in the field that they're in would add some kind of you know, some trust to what they're saying. But in general, no, I don't just trust people. You know, like that would be silly, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you trust them based on what their degree, for example.
No, just the expertise, right? And if it was
Right,
like
for
a,
example,
if it was a
let's say
specific
someone,
subject, I could cross-reference what they're saying to make sure what they're saying is true. You know, I wouldn't
no,
just,
right,
wouldn't
but
just take it.
let's say someone was, for example, a PhD in like neuroscience, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, he's known in his community to fabricate reports to make up stuff, right? You would most likely not trust him if he's known to be someone who
Valid,
fabricates stuff.
valid. Yeah.
Understand?
If I was aware of
Because
that, yes, valid.
right, because it's a two-way street, right? One of the qualities he has to have is being very intelligent, which means having a degree, right? The degree is an indicator that in that field he's very intelligent. So what
No,
he
I
transmits
wouldn't
to
necessarily
you-
say that's true, right? Because even if you was to talk about a different religion, some of their prophets may not be considered intelligent in that kind of way.
specifically referring to my religion, right, with the sages. This is the criteria for a sage.
Well, yeah, I think personally, a sage is look. These views that you're explaining to me are quite subjective. That's what I understand. Guys, can we tap the screen quickly? Sorry,
Again,
bro.
if this is
31
subjective, why do you
likes is
trust
not enough.
anyone in your life? Why do you
I
trust
don't.
anyone in
I've
your
already
life?
established that. I don't.
You don't trust anyone in your life. No.
No, of course not. That'd be
So
silly.
you're being dishonest now.
That's not dishonest. I'm literally being honest with you by telling what. So like, don't you realize like in society, right? So there's levels to trust, obviously, right? But to just go around trusting people is what's called being gullible, brother.
No, you don't trust anyone. I never said to trust anyone. However, when you trust someone, you trust them because you observe them to have a high level of righteousness.
No,
or
not
being a good
necessarily.
person.
Not necessarily. Think about society, right? Think about societal construct like something like the police or the firemen or doctors. Okay, I don't know them, but the position that they occupy in our society, they're afforded a certain level of credibility. I don't have to know them for that, you know.
Right. So first of all, to be a police officer, there's a standard, right? There's a standard of criteria.
Right.
It's just a fact.
Yeah,
You
but
have to
a
have
police
certain-
officer is not analogous to a sage, right, or a prophet.
I never said he is. That's why I didn't bring up
Hmm.
an officer as an example. The point is that there are people you trust in your life because either A, you observe them to have certain qualities throughout their life, and therefore the information they are transmitting you will trust it.
Yeah,
Like,
so,
for
so I
example,
should say, I would say you're speaking for yourself. You're speaking for yourself, of course, but just in
not.
general, I don't think that is a thing, brother.
You're being disingenuous there.
I don't think I am. I don't think I am. So can you
don't
explain
trust anyone
how?
in your life. Okay, so for example, have you ever taken medication from a doctor?
Yeah, of course.
Did you check 100% to make sure the doctor didn't poison the medicine?
But as I said, a doctor is afforded that level of trust due to his occupation.
Because he has
That
what?
trust comes with responsibility
Hold on. Why do you trust the doctor?
because he has a responsibility. It's called duty of care.
All right, but why do you trust him though?
I don't trust him.
You don't trust the doctor when he gives you
No.
medication.
So it's like I'm saying to you,
You're
right?
dishonest. Okay, have a good day. You're
It's like,
dishonest.
bro, this guy doesn't get it. Like, you must be a child, bro. Like, you just walk around in the world just trusting people. It's insane. I was like, what? That's like incredibly insane, bro. Like, I don't know. Could you guys hear what he was saying? Like, yeah, in general, I think if he had just accepted what he's saying is entirely subjective, we could have moved past it. Like, the whole view of trusting someone because you've observed them and their piety is like, that's nonsense. Like, I've never observed a a traffic warden and his piety, you know, but I trust him to do his job because he has a responsibility. Like, he has a duty to do said thing, so I'm trusting that he's going to uphold his duty. But if he doesn't uphold his duty, there are checks and balances, which allows for that trust, like a social safety there. I don't need to observe his piety. It's like, this doesn't make sense, bro. It's just nonsense. But guys, can we tap that like so let people come up? Hit a couple reposts. It goes a long way. It's Friday night. Most people can be out drinking. They don't really they don't want to be here discussing these deep things. No, thank you for that, TX. I appreciate that. What was I going to say? No, I did change the title in the stream previously, but it seemed as if the algorithm did not like it, so I just put it back to this. I don't know who that is, Candid, but you can speak to me. Have we spoken before? What was the context in which we spoke? Yeah, because there's a level of accountability afforded to the doctor. That was the point of him going through schooling and accreditation and etc. There are governing bodies that manage that. That's the thing that allows for the trust. If you just go around like, it's like a guy could just put on a white coat and say, "Trust me, I'm a doctor." And what you're saying, you're just gonna trust him because he said to trust him. That doesn't even make sense. Oh wait, can you hear me? Oh, it is an echo. Oh, what is the echo?
Hey, I got a hit on the photo. Name's Brent Walker. One arrest 2 years ago for minor drug possession. Get this.
What
Found
is the
dead
echo?
6 months later in an alley. Cause of death, a single puncture
Can you still hear
wound
it? Hear it?
to the chest.
All right, let's try this.
The address now.
Yeah, our girl's definitely got a thing against drug dealers.
Oh, I need.
Sure seems
What?
It's weird though, man.
Oh, that's why like stream ain't showing.
Dealers,
It's just like
then why do
echoing.
news reports make it sound like she's picking off random victims?
Let me
like
see.
It could be anybody.
Yeah.
Well,
What is
you'd think
this?
the DUP would want people to know the killings weren't random.
Mic
That
test.
If you're not a drug dealer,
1,
you're
2.
not in danger. It'd sure bring the panic level down.
So you're saying what? The DUP
You?
is trying to scare
All
people?
right, there we go.
Your job is to control the panic.
All right, anyone want to come up and speak to me? I'm saying spirituality, God and religion are all cope. If you disagree, feel free to jump in. Guys, over on the Usmel Step, you gotta come to TikTok. Warren, I don't know what you're talking about, buddy, but you're not able to come on the stage, so it's just kind of just like keyboard stuff I can see. Really, it's not really helpful. Anyways, I might actually just go play Elden Ring instead. Seems like we've been put into the bad algorithm for some reason. Maybe it's just the day. Thanks for tapping that like, I appreciate it. Why does the text look all squashed up like that as well? Ooh, that's way too big. Yes, I do, LNS. I do think it's bad. Do you want to talk to me about that? Hazel, personally, I don't know for certain. I don't think I can know any of those kinds of things for certain. But I think naturalistic explanations trump supernatural explanations every time. 'Cause, you know, the supernatural is not something we can really account for, whereas the natural world is something we can actually examine, you know, on an empirical level. So that's what I would say about that. I don't know with certainty, no. I don't think good and evil exist as unique substances either. Warren, you need to get on an account where you can come up and speak to me, bro. You're saying interesting stuff, but it's like comments is kind of boring. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Folks, let's tap that like. Let's get folks all up in there. May have to restart the stream. Then again, it's been 18 minutes and we've only been seen by 90 people. That's not a good sign. It's not a good sign at all. It's not looking good. Maybe we'll just reboot. Hey, thanks on the YouTube side. I see those taps. They go a long way too. Yeah, I do think we are closer to that, to unalive than we think. Every day we're one day older, and every day we're one step closer. It's very true. You know, humans only have like 100 and something thousand. No, not even 100 and something thousand days. It depends who you are, really. But the actual amount of days that we're afforded to live as humans is incredibly low. And yet, we go through all of this nonsense. What is the point, I ask you? What is the point? Nah, I had a copy of the Book of Enoch. I gave it back to my sister. It was boring. At least from the first page. It seemed like it was going to be a bunch of like woo-woo nonsense. So I was just like, I'm passing this. I think that's probably a good reason why it's not in the Bible, among other books. I'm the only person tapping? Nah, this is cruelty. Alright, yeah. Maybe we just got to reboot. Alright, I'm going to come back, so make sure you join back straight away. And do your thing. Oh, now it's showing it to people like all of a sudden. Should I wait? Should I wait a bit longer? Be patient. we'll see. What was we doing? Right, that's it. We need to go to see. Ooh. What you? Oh, I'm in a different game. I was thinking, what's going on there? Where's my buns going? Come up and speak to me, bro. I'll talk to you about it. It's kind of hard to do the chitty chatty that way. Bro's up arm. What do you mean? Absolutely, Lee. Spot on. That is spot on. Some people can't manage that explanation, so they just like think I'm saying something crazy and bizarre, but it's really quite straightforward. So there should be 2 little men at the bottom of the screen, one blue, one pinkish. If you click that, it will let you come up on stage. Thanks for typing a like, I appreciate it. You just downloaded it to talk to me, but you have an account mighty fast, don't you? That can't be the case, surely. Is that a bear? So we've been invaded, but I can't see him. There he is. Oh, he... Oh, I forgot his Elden Ring. No! Pressing L2s. So that L1. Damn it. Deleted it. I sent you a request. You should be able to see it. The moment you walk in Jesus, that doesn't even make sense, brother. That make no sense. How can you walk in Jesus? Gaping. Stop joking. Yeah, it's like it's not showing the stream to anybody. I don't know. You probably haven't got your mic and everything set up properly. I'll give it one more try. What I'm gonna do is restart the stream, anyways. So jump back in, bro. When I restart the stream, we'll talk there. Oh, I forgot to press the setting. I think it's just a Saturday, sorry, a Friday thing. It's brutal algorithms on the weekend after work. It's not, don't hit. Takes forever to swing a sword game. But yeah, the bosses do, depending on who you're fighting. I'm way out of the way. So down the bottom. Folks, if we could, let's tap that like, let's get the taps up so we can get people in there and talk about the subject. Or maybe we could just enjoy the silence and the game together. The game is turned super low because I expected to talk to people. There we go. Sure. I sent you an invite. Well, make sure your mic is accessible. I don't want to see you on camera, to be fair with you. But you got to make sure your mic is allowable. Yeah, no one's in that chat, are they? I can't see the numbers, I can only see you. I'll put it to sub only anyways, that's probably why. Ah, you need live access, yeah. I figures if your account's just... Well, it lets me send you a request, so there's that. If you're allowed to take requests, then there's something else going on there, probably. I don't know. As I said, if you're fairly new on TikTok, it might not let you do it. But either way is fine with me. We'll do what we do. Let's go battle the gods. What in the world, TikTok? TikTok's going to make me go to the browser. It's terrible. It's like it's literally not showing it to anybody. What is that about? Oh, what are you doing there, bro? No sound detected. That could also be why. Loki jacking up them, bro. There you go. I don't know where I lost those points, but I doubt there was enough there to use. You need nah, you don't need 1,000 followers to join live, bro. That's wrong. You might need 1,000 followers to go live on your own account, but to join a live, you don't. I don't have much knowledge at all, Zero. Have smooch. A smidgen. If any at all. I meant to say zilch, but, you know. Words and stuff. We need to get this live sent out. Not quite sure how to do it though. It's not usually like that. No. Invaded. Right, we're close to where we want to be. There we go. Let us go. Huh? Why isn't it active? Oh, he's dangerous. Must have missed a step somewhere. We haven't done a white masks thingy either. Oh, we got him. Oh, there we go. Let's do this. Off to the DLC. We've got one more thing to do. Guys, please tap that like. If you press the little arrow button, let's put it in this way, you'll see a little yellow button that says repost. If you hit that a couple of times, or share it, just fake share it to WhatsApp or something, it goes quite a long way in helping the algorithm. I don't know why, but we're in the bottom of the algorithm. Lag on here compared to YouTube is amazing. Is it laggy? The DLC bosses, I was thinking that as well, that's why I restarted. This time when I actually do get to DLC, I'm going to pull up a boss map. I'm going to do it the right way this time. Last time I was just winging it, just see what, just exploring. I want to hit absolutely every boss on the way. What's up, John Doe? I somewhat agree to that. Yeah, absolutely insane. Remember when I was stuck on Mesmer for like 2 weeks, and then it was Radahn. That's what made me rage quit the whole DLC. This is 5th playthrough, bro, but I'm not really doing the main game properly. I'm just trying to get to the DLC. It showed it to 19 people. How cruel. Right, let's make sure this account is up on there. Huh? Why has my stream gone into that mode? I don't want it to be like that. Voice rings. Can you guys see the whole game? Can you still see the whole screen? Or is it gone into like a little box? Sup, Kyle? I've heard about it, but I don't really get it. It seems a bit weird. Most of those religions are weird, to be honest with you. But that one seems like especially a bit weird. The irony is, like, with all the things I've heard about Gnosticism, the burning question is, how the hell do they know any of the stuff they sing? Which is actually ridiculous when you think about it. Like, because the story is so, like, intricate. It's like, well, how do you know that? It's like, it's a pursuit of knowledge, but how do you know any of the story you just told me is true? There we go, that's how I want it to be. Ain't no alien files, bro. That's nonsense. It's just to hype us up. Or to distract us, probably. How would reading my Bible help me against aliens? Get your ass up on the stage. Let me talk to you, crazy ass. How would reading the Bible help me against aliens? What is that gonna do? Here's the question though, right? If there's aliens, then probably the God of the Bible isn't true then. You know, have you considered that? If there are aliens, then the God of the Bible is probably not true. Because the Bible doesn't say anything about aliens. Now, you get weirdos who say, oh, aliens are just fallen angels, but that's just weirdos, like, interpreting stuff the way they want to interpret it. Bible doesn't say anything about other planets, doesn't say anything about extraterrestrial life. So, you know, then you got to think about that. Get up here, let's dance. Alright, let's get to the... Oh. Someone been summoned. Let's just see if we can run past them. What goes for any religion? Oh yeah, of course. No, but it's, to me it's just like meta funny, because it's like Gnosticism is the whole thing about gnosis, and they don't even know how they know the whole story in the first place. To me that is incredibly funny. It's like, how do you... How's your whole thing built on knowing, but you don't know where the story even comes from? How you can know any of that's true? Oh, oh. You see these birds, yeah? If you sit up on the ledge, you shoot them with an arrow, they'll run off, and you can just mine them for ages. That's why. For the, Ah, you jumped me. I'm dead. Come on. Not enough damage. I'm cooked. Ooh. Hey, thanks for letting me know. Hey, I appreciate you, Antonio Cortez. Appreciate you for letting me know. No, people who believe in God will think that. There's no good reason to believe in God anyways. Let's see. I think it's because I changed the text earlier on. If it will allow for a different text, then I'll put out a different text. Ooh, what did you send? A DMC. Bro, you shouldn't have sent any gift to that account, bro. That account can't see that gift. Send that shit to me. No, I'm joking. What's up, D&D? Why do you think I'm open-minded? Oh, we've got like serious algorithmic trouble here, right? So we've got 5 people. Oh, okay, that's your problem there, right? These people are watching on anonymous accounts, so they're not signed in. You got some people watching on the homepage as well. That's why. Bailed. Yes, we know what you're doing, brother. We can see you, but let's keep that between us. Alright. Something wrong here. If that is the case, then we are in a bad algorithm. We've got all the haters. Can we get a 360 of the fit? Nah, it's all black. It's just all black, bro. It's black shirt, black pants, black socks, grey underwear, I think. I'm joking. Hey, thanks for hitting them roses, right? Row it? Not riot, row it. Yeah, something is wrong. Oh my god. Should have said that. Shit. Stop telling you what colour my boxers are, bro. I don't know what to do. If we go over to a normal browser, then we'll be in the algorithm, but no one can call in. So it's just, I'm just laughing that you don't know who I am. I don't know. Row it.
If I could do it, then whack on you. Get up and make it work. Ain't no way that I'm sitting around. It's now or never. I'm taking a
I see motorbikes.
knew that I had this gift since birth. Grinding came out the mud like Roddy. I had nobody. I came from dirt. Still came fuck up.
No, I don't know who you are, bro.
If I could do it, then whack on you. Get up and
I
make
don't
it
know.
work.
You have to give me a hint. Maybe I know you of another username. Possibly. Alright. Yeah, I think it's just a bad night for streaming by the looks of it. It's just hitting us with sandbagging the stream. That sucks. The other day we had a significant amount of people in there to talk to. Now we can't even get more than 10 people in. That's insane. Something's happened. Something strange anyways. Have I been to the gym lately? You are from YouTube. You have an avatar from Avatar. Am I mistaken? Mugiwara. Is that it? Can you put a tornado through a junkyard and get a Cadillac? I don't know. Those things, like, I've heard people say stuff like that, but I have no reason to think it's true, though. In terms of possibilities, all kinds of weird things might be possible, but concrete realities, no, it's not Mugiwara. What's your username on YouTube, bro? And how come you just ended up on TikTok now? Alright, yeah, it seems we may be having some technical difficulties or something. Or we're just algorithmically suppressed again. TikTok was like, nah, bruh. We let you hit the stream the other day. You didn't do TikTok shop. I was like, ain't no way, boy. No, actually, TikTok even on my phone is playing up. Because I don't check my YouTube chats. I do. You aren't in my YouTube chat. Who knows the truth? You was just on there. By what name, though? Get up here, let's dance. I can't remember what that lady said. But come up here, let's speak about it. I'm going to restart the stream again in a minute because look, it's 16 minutes and we got no views. listen to that lovely whack chat you just had before you hung up. Oh, the guy that was about to prove to me about Judaism. Like, what was wrong with that guy? Like, why should I just walk around trusting people? That doesn't make sense. Makes no damn sense at all. But yeah, I think in fact he was the one being disingenuous, and he didn't just want to face up to the fact that what he was saying was just entirely subjective. And with that, I'm gonna restart the stream again because it's not going into the algorithm. I wonder how many restarts they'll allow. 1 + 2 makes 3. Quite true, outrageous. Be right back. Has it decided to show us an algorithm? No, it has not. Alright, we've got some weird issues happening over here. Now YouTube, I'm not surprised because I put that on subscribers only. So yeah, you're only going to get a few people in there today. But TikTok, something is wrong here. Post your live highlights. What are you talking about? You won't even let my live hit the algorithm. Maybe Orange Man put out some kind of thingy. Let's get rid of this. Alright. Cool. I could actually just not stream tonight. That was probably the best thing to do. And do it like I said I should have done it. Rick Sells. Now I see you, bro. See, you weren't in the chat before, bro. Oh, yes, I see it. The easiest way trust can be explained is what you said before. Like, you can trust and rely upon someone to be dishonest or lie or be truthful. To blindly trust doesn't make sense. Yes, I saw what you said this time. Nah, it's impossible. I can't even get to my dreams. Let's see. Oh, I forgot to do it again. Damn, man. That could be why. TikTok is it's not performing as I expected it to, as it should I say. Let's put it into cutout mode. I've got some questions for you. Check 1 2. Alright, I guess it's just a dead stream then. All that's left to do is just go beat up a boss and then call it a day. Oh, got a stringy eye. Oh, the good news is Doro is back. I think I haven't got to the 2nd season yet, but I see that there is a 2nd season now, so that is the good news. With all of the algorithmic suppression, that should be the highlight of the weekend actually. What in the world is going on? I have no idea. It says no sound detected. Shit, dead. you got me as well. Right, so yeah, something isn't right. How many times are they gonna allow for this? I think it's the app itself. Alright, what reason do you have to think God exists? Yeah, some of them were definitely drunk, that's for sure. Some people say it was the old mushrooms. That the whole thing is an allegory surrounding mushrooms as well. Me personally, I don't know. All I can say for certain is that shit is unlikely to be true. Alright, let's go this that way. And do a test. How can you possibly know that's true, Sensei? The only experience you've got is your own. Scientific fact? What kind of nonsense? You ain't gotta lie. Like, why would God need you to lie on his behalf if he was that powerful? That doesn't make sense. It's just like, just defaulted to lying straight away. It's incredible. I don't know what is going on with this algorithm, but it's totally jarring. No, I don't remember saying that. Right. Let's give it a bit of that. Bit of welly. Come on then, let's fight. I'm gonna hurry up and get through this boss so we can go to the DLC. It's taking too long. Spawning. What's up, Phil? Why'd you agree? What? No, don't. There you are. How can he get a hit in between that? Oh, I'm cooked. Oh. Oof. One hit. Come on, boy. There you go. What is this egregious take? Why is it egregious? You can't even be invited out. I agree. Fuller. How do I say your name? Fuller. I think the idea of the supernatural is just that, an idea. There's no way to say that it actually exists. So it's kind of a waste. Or better yet, it's just imagination. Oh my gosh. How? Alright, so where do you think the idea of supernatural came from, bro? If it's not something we can like test and study or see or interact with, then it's currently just an idea. Wait, why are we getting it's not naval invasions though. I don't know if it... What? How can he come back again? I just beat him. What a pain. What? How can he... What? Oh, I see. He's got a special attack. I'm dead. No! No! How did he pull that off? No way. No way, that was a sneaky kill. Oh my gosh. I did change the topic, Charles, but the TikTok thing wouldn't allow it, bruv. I changed it and it just didn't show the video to anybody. I think that's exactly what messed it up. Messed up the TikTok. It's because I changed the topic. I changed it to God, spirituality, religion, all cope, or like nonsense. It didn't show the video to anybody. And now we're in like a rut algorithm after all of that good progress, which is insane. But tapping the screen does help a lot. Hitting the repost also helps a lot. So if you do want to see me talk to some theists or crazies, we've got to make sure the video is seen in the algorithm. Or perhaps you're a theist and a crazy yourself, you don't want it to be seen because, you know, there might be too much problems for your reality. Or maybe you're a crazy theist. I appreciate you, Robert, bro. What kind of stuff? What kind of political stuff? You don't need to disprove something that's never been proven sincere. That's not how that works. If you make a positive claim about something, then the burden of proof is on you to demonstrate that thing exists. Like, say there's like a tooth fairy made out of banana and strawberry milkshake that can spit galaxies into existence when it feels like it, and sometimes it listens to my wishes and my dreams and makes them come true. I just claim that shit is true, right? So it's on me to demonstrate that's true. You can't scientifically prove that that milkshake fairy doesn't exist. How are you going to prove it doesn't exist? I'm the one telling you about it, right? So that's just basic stuff. What if they did Axiom? The dogs are pretty chill. So it's pretty standard stuff. Even me making a positive claim, I at least try to provide some facts and information to support the claim. But I'm not making the supernatural type of claim. I'm making an explanatory claim. It's quite a clear difference. That being said, why can't we get to this guy's palace already? Shortcut? Yay, nay? Nay. Piss off. Excuse my French. You did provide. I don't think you did. I appreciate you wrote it, bro. I don't know why, but algorithm is just not showing the stream to anybody. What's up, Neural Cat? How you doing, bro? Sorry, Neural Cult. How you doing? could just be my luck, or it could be something else going on the back end that I just can't control. Either way, I can't control it, so I'm just gonna give up. And where the hell is... What? Am I tripping here? Because I've been to this palace so many times. Ah, it's the next river, isn't it? It is the next river. That's why I'm not finding it. Just shithead. Sure, I just dispatched this guy already. Why'd I have to fight him twice? What? Double tap and a repost goes a long way. Let's try and get someone on the stage. What I'll do is I'll invite this account up so people know it's possible to request. Sometimes people aren't aware. And the people that are in here chatting, they don't seem to have the capability. So I don't know what to tell you. Hold on a minute. I haven't read a lot of philosophy, no. I'm not a philosopher, I'm just a guy. Just a normal guy. Thank you for tapping the screen, I appreciate that. Oh, we got echo. There we go. Right, so you can request up. The request is active. Come up, I'll tell you all about it. You know, this weapon's carried me through 5 playthroughs. Neural. I wouldn't actually get a new weapon. That was the point of starting it again. Well, that and doing the DLC, but I've just been lazy about it. Because it was taking so long to get to the DLC, I just ended up going to my back to my old ways, just throwing on the same old build. It's low-key boring now. Build my house on sand? What are you talking about, bro? Should be asking you that question. You're the one espousing supernatural beliefs. There's nothing concrete about that. It's like, where does one even begin to? Yeah, it's a waste. Here we go. I think this is the right direction this time. Oh yeah, there should be a giant skeleton. There is the giant skeleton right there. Let us run. Finally, progress. Forgot how to play the damn game. This is almost captivating. Alright. Yeah, it would be much better if there was actually someone to talk to, but algorithm seems to be... Do you know what? I don't even necessarily think it's the algorithm. What it might be is we got bad actors among us. That's what it probably is, more than likely. So let's see if we can do something to change that. Bad actors are running, scattering. See what we can do. Do 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 do. Valida. Let you in. You haven't requested up. Ah, I see you. Let's have a look at this guy. Aaron, you know, Aaron Yeager. Let me see. Wait, don't say nothing yet, bro. Just hang tight because I can't hear you. I can't hear you, bro. Just hold tight. Don't do nothing. Got no headphones plugged in. That makes a hell of a lot of sense. What's up, goat man? How you doing? You're being suppressed in Iago. Hello.
Yeah.
How you doing, my friend?
What's up, bro? Hey, I was just wondering why you think that.
Why do I think that?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's good reasons to think God exists independently of humans.
Alright.
What do you think, though?
Oh, nah, I right now I'm more of like a kind of just, I don't know, bro. I want to say like in the middle, but I'm just not sure.
Like agnostic or
Like-
something?
I guess I was just coming up here, you know, to see like why you think the way you do, but more like I just don't know, bro. I feel like I could never like know for sure.
I mean, I somewhat agree with you. I somewhat agree.
I don't know.
So, do you have religious background though?
Yeah. I mean, I used to be a Christian, I guess. So.
Good goat, man. How are you, bro? Sorry, bro. I was talking to someone in the chat. Used to be a Christian. What made you stop being a Christian?
Let me think. I mean, not like something in specific, but I don't know. It's just like a lot of things just didn't feel right. I don't know.
Like,
Like I'm trying to think, but I don't know. It's just like it's so many things, bro. I don't know. I'm trying to think. It just feels very. It feels very like. I mean, I wouldn't say like culty-ish, but like it also feels like something. You know, it does feel like something humans would create.
I mean,
you know, desire.
it's kind of the way I see it, to be fair. But you know, there's a fine line between saying what I think and being able to demonstrate it as the case. I'm joking. I do
like,
actually
I don't
think
have
it's a
any,
CULT though.
Logical like arguments against Christianity. That's why I'm kind of just in like the middle, but it kind of feels like you know, like we're all scared to die and like people want like a way out of it in a way. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a
I
part of
wouldn't
it.
say
Yeah.
too good to be true, but it feels like that in a way.
What, like religion's telling of it, like afterlife and all that?
And there's so many religions, so many people are like spiritually like
Oh, there
you
we go.
know in tune. It just feels like something humans are kind of naturally drawn towards. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's like it's mysticism, really. It's like not. It's the equivalent of not being bothered to figure out how the world works. So just taking any fantasy to plug in, it just gives you comfort,
Yeah,
right?
it also it answers like it makes the world make sense. It answers a lot of things that like we don't know how to answer. You know, it gives things some like grounds.
Yeah, but they stop making sense the closer you look at them, though. That's the problem.
I don't know. I just haven't
That's the
also
whole
heard
problem.
anything that like makes me believe. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat with you, bro.
Like yeah, I don't know. I was just chilling, I guess. I don't know.
Fair play. Fairs, I do appreciate you for coming out there. Like, 'cause obviously there's no one to talk to right now, anyways. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. Wait, what's this other? Wait, what game are you playing?
This is Elden Ring.
Oh,
It's a lot, man. You don't fuck with Elden Ring now.
nah, I've never played it.
It's a great game.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't have any money.
Fairs.
to get it.
Fairs.
It's like $50, right?
What? Well, it might be. Depends where you are, really. You can look online. You might be able to get it a lot cheaper.
USA. You sound like you're from Europe.
Yeah, I'm from the UK, bro. But yeah, when I bought it, I bought it second hand, so I got a lot cheaper as well. It's like go to a game store and just buy a used copy.
That's a pretty hard game, right?
Not really. Not really. I think the amount of options in this game makes it playable by anyone, even if you don't really like these types of games.
I kind of just play like
What?
Siege, Apex, like Rocket League. I don't know if you ever heard of those.
Ah, you're a first-person shooter type guy.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Or just I guess Rocket League's like the only other game that I really like grinded.
Rocket League's the car one, isn't it? Or is that
Yeah.
something else?
Nah, it's the car one.
Yeah, I tried to play that one time. That game didn't make any damn sense to me, bro. It's like football with cars.
It's weird.
It
I
didn't
started it a
make
while
any
ago,
sense.
so-
Like the physics is all wrong. But yeah, fair plays. Alright, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and drop you down.
Alright, well.
It's nice speaking to you.
Yeah. Alright. Good
Hey,
talking, bro.
tell some of your Fierce friends to come and speak to me, bro. So I want to hear what they have to say about this Godmare. I would change it to something a bit
talking-
more,
you talking
more
to me?
rude. Yeah, yeah. So have you got any Fierce friends? Give it a repost to them to come over here.
I don't. Alright,
Fair play, bro. I appreciate you.
see ya.
So, alright, yeah, algorithm is just like dog shit today. Like we got 75 views in like 17 minutes. Like it's usually hundreds and hundreds, but it's like the fifth restart, so my surprise not necessarily. That person's not even in the chat anymore, bro. Don't know what's going on. Alright, where we want to be? Is it that way? No, we came that way. Okay. Ooh. Might just cut this shit off and go watch Dorohedoro, bro. Don't know what's happened to the algorithm. Hopefully tomorrow will be a better day. I don't know. I think I may have tried Warframe one time. I think I may have. I don't know. Is that like a? That's also like a spacey kind of shooter game, isn't it? Is that me myself? So don't need to 100% agree. Fair play. The congestion just hit me like a ton of bricks. How did I go to the main menu? I didn't press anything. Bro, let's just go to Mogwai. This guy's taking the piss. There's destroyed my eardrum. Lord knows. How the hell did we get 5,000 likes? I appreciate you guys, but no, I don't know what's going on, but that didn't do anything at all. It's very, very weird. Could be, you know what, probably because of all of that black stuff last stream. I appreciate you, Robert. I appreciate you. It's probably because I showed all those black books. It's a possibility. It's quite possible. But who's to say, man? Shit is just, the internet is just unpredictable. Alright, we have found the Monk's Palace. I got a good feeling if I go to the browser, it will send the TikTok out to people. But the problem is, if I do it that way, I can't speak to anybody. But now that we're here, let's do it like this. I don't think people even know what truth is, to be honest. I think truth itself is a contentious thing. It's another conversation for another time. Wait, how can that be 12 minutes? Yeah, absolutely fake, Menzie. How can there be such a thing as holy water, bro? It's nonsense. It's not even such a thing as holy in general. Hello?
Hi, mate. How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
Charles, 58, obviously Melanin Challenge, American.
Ah, you ain't got to tell me all that, bro.
Oh, they always demand that they ask whenever you guys are going live. I thought it was some protocol or something.
I don't know. It's more like building a case. It's like building your profile
I just
for
want to come
you.
up and say I appreciate your take on things. You're absolutely right. Humans invent the gods they like.
I
And,
agree.
you know, white people invent blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus. It never existed. So, what can I say?
I mean, yeah, I
And,
guess.
yeah. So they're all created by man for man.
I would agree on that. Like, any god that we've ever heard about was a human invention, as far as I'm aware. Some people would argue that they exist independently, but I just don't see the evidence of that being the case. I think the explanation of what gods are and where they come from is best explained via humans, if that makes sense.
Now, the Christian God in particular is just like, is just, you know, ridiculous. I mean, it's like on the face of it, and it evolved over the course of, you know, a couple of 3,000 years or something. The Jews invented Yahweh back, you know, he was a small regional god back in Israel, and he gradually evolved over the course of time. And one time, the Jews actually, he was about to lose out to Baal, and there was only one Jewish, one Hebrew, I don't know the right term, the old days probably doesn't apply. But anyway, there's only one prophet left, or one follower that wasn't the follower of Baal, the rain god.
Is it?
And yeah, polytheism is like the default for the old world.
It would have been henotheism.
I'm sorry?
It would have been henotheism in that time. But it's very similar to polytheism. So henotheism's like, we got our god, they got their god, but we acknowledge their god exists as a minor deity, but our god is a major deity. Whereas like polytheism's like a pantheon. It's like Zeus, or you know, like
Right.
the Roman gods,
Well,
etc.
I mean, the whole point is you're right. They all had regional gods, and Yahweh was actually a pretty minor god up until the time, and you know, then the Romans, of course, invented Jesus and the whole mythology around that.
Yeah, I definitely think. Well, put it this way: I don't think Jesus, the character in the New Testament, actually existed in that way. I think it's just a bunch of myths
No,
put together.
I agree. There's
But a
zero
lot of people would
historical
disagree.
evidence that Jesus ever existed.
No, that's not actually
Absolutely
accurate.
not. When you push them on it, it's always the same thing. Well, he must have existed because somebody wrote about him.
No, that's
Like
not.
a
That's
circular
not. That's not actually accurate. Right? There's evidence that a guy called Yeshua, which is like conflated with Jesus, existed, but that guy's a normal guy. It's not the magic man, God's son guy, and they like to mix the two up. It's like muddy in the water, so they can say that the magic man exists because that guy existed. You know. So
Exactly.
It's a mix up.
Yeah, it's just endlessly circular arguments. And, you know, then assuming that, okay, if some almighty, all-powerful creator exists, therefore it must be the Christian God.
Yeah, that's definitely a
And
reach.
that's like a strong, it's a ridiculous argument.
Trust me. Hey, Saint, come up here, bro. Ooh. I don't think that person's in the chat anymore. I'm gonna get totally smoked in this boss fight. Can you Oh, I can hear myself in your mic, bro.
Yeah. We're coming through just fine.
Hey? What'd you say, bro?
I said I can hear you just fine.
Oh no, I was saying I thought I could hear myself in your microphone. It's alright, there we go.
Probably can. Let me,
No, it's better now, don't worry.
no, I'm not going to stay very long either. I just wanted to come up and chat. Hey, I appreciate your take on things.
Oh, we almost got him.
Europeans.
Damn it. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, one thing about Europeans is, you know, with the fact that they had established religion for so long, the state religion for a very long time, and then when they were given the choice, people basically said, well, I don't want to pay church taxes, I don't want to pay to support this cathedral and so forth. Europe went majorly secular. And, you know, the United States is like, unfortunately, we're still in the dark ages that way. We have, you know, more churches than anywhere else on the planet, and more people who are like, just especially in the South, are very like, well, I mean, this is just the way it is, and if you disagree with me, you're wrong, and you're not even willing to have a logical, reasonable, rational discussion.
Yeah, it's like religion goes well with ignorance, to be fair. Very well.
Fair enough.
It functions in like kind of authoritarian and totalitarian ways. So they don't really need to be able to think like that. It's just either you're in or you're out.
Exactly. Well, I have zero problem with religious people. In fact, my wife is Catholic, but she just we just never talk about it. It's a non-issue. And
You
the
reckon?
family are the nicest people on the planet, but they don't force
Hey,
their
appreciate
religion on
it, mate.
anybody.
I mean, in some ways, I can understand that. The individual is one thing, but the institution is the other thing. Is a whole other thing. You
Right.
know? Like, yeah, you can get good individuals all over the planet who believe in all kinds of
Sure.
things, but it's like the main thing can be quite problematic.
Right. Well, it's just, that's where I take exceptions when they try to force things to happen, like it's happening today in the world. They're just like, okay, we're on top right now, especially in America, and because they're on top, they're trying to force their beliefs on everybody else.
I mean, yeah, but that's kind of how Christianity was designed to function anyway. All of the Abrahamic faiths have been designed to function that way. They're literally like what I would describe as imperialistic or vehicles, basically. They're designed to like go
The
out.
idea is like, that's the way you grow your religion, is by forcing everybody to adopt your belief system.
Right.
Catholic means universal.
The history of the things they've done to make sure people follow their religion as well are atrocious. What was that sound anyways? Alright, yo, Charles, let me talk to Saint for a bit.
Okay, I'm gonna take off. You have a wonderful day.
You too, bro. Appreciate you
Cheers.
coming up. So yeah. Ooh. Yo, Saint.
What you saying, my G?
Good, bro. You?
Chilling, bro. I was just interested in the statement, I was just coming across live and I was kind of intrigued about that statement. What makes you think that humans invented God? Just out of curiosity.
I think the explanation for what God concepts are and God beliefs are best answered through humans inventing them. And I think there's like supporting theories that back that up, and then we've got like some kind of we've got a lot of historical evidence of different types of gods we've invented. So I think it best explains God concepts and beliefs without positing the existence of any supernatural entity.
Right.
That's a mouthful.
I hear that.
Of course.
I hear that. Okay, so let me ask you a question, right? Just
Sure.
Logic question, right? So the question is, you've seen the Mona Lisa painting, right?
Not in person, no. I could have, but I
Okay,
didn't
not in
end up seeing
person,
it.
obviously. Nah, but in general, you've seen it, right? So,
Yeah.
the painter, you know of him, right?
Yep.
Did you see the
Was it-
painter actually painted?
Michelangelo, or which one was it? Who painted that again?
I think it was it not? I don't even know who it was, bro. Regardless, everybody around the world has seen the Mona Lisa painting, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, we all believe that specific painter painted that painting, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's what we've been told, yes.
Right? But did you witness him painting it?
No, of course not.
No, right? But we obviously believe that he painted it. Now, if I ask you another question, do you not think that human bodies are so complex? For example, your eyes. Your eyes are essentially just
No, I don't.
lenses, right?
I see where you're going, but I can tell you, like, you're thinking fallaciously.
Right.
A painting is not analogous to humans. So, like, the kind of argument you're making is called a watchmaker's argument. You know, it's a really bad argument.
I mean, I'm not even trying to argue. I'm just trying to like spike your curiosity in the sense of if one can believe a painter has painted a painting that you've not seen him paint, how can people not believe there needs to be a creator in this world? For example, trees or something.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be a creator.
So let me ask you something.
What you're doing is called question begging, right? So when you say a painting has a painter, a creation has a creator, you're implying the thing exists already. The thing that you're implying exists already is what's in question. So you can't just say to say we're all creation is just you stating something that you believe. It's not a matter of fact. And by you saying that everything is a creation, that then allows you or gives you license to go and say therefore there's a creator, but there's no proof that there's a creator. That's why it's
Right.
called question begging.
So what's your beliefs then? Like, what do you believe in?
Personally, I don't know. Like, if you're talking about how the universe came about, how humans came about, all I would say is this. If I had to pick between the creationist myth that's thousands of years old now, or the current explanatory power that science has, I'm going to take the current explanatory power that science has. So
Okay.
science has provided us with various different explanations and theories of how the earth, how the universe, how human life and all life comes about. I think those explanations trump creationist explanations significantly.
Right. So I was reading this the other day, right? I actually came across a whole article how science in itself is trying, not debunking, but almost like it's going alongside certain religions to see kind of like which ones, I guess, prophecies are intact and which ones are false and whatnot, right?
So
And
what science would that be?
Sorry?
What science would that be?
It was like an Instagram post with, I don't know, bro. It's got like millions of
Fair.
followers. It's like a verified science.
Oh my gosh,
background.
bandwagon fallacy. That's crazy. My God.
Well, you got Insta. I'll probably send it to you. If I'll
Nah,
look
I
for it,
don't.
I'll
I don't
find
use
it. I'll
Instagram,
send
bro.
it to you.
I don't use Instagram.
Oh, you don't?
Nah.
Nah, fair. Fair enough, bro.
Yeah, but go on.
Energy, go on, you do your thing.
Nah, tell me the story though.
Huh?
Oh, tell me the story.
Tell you the story, you said, yeah?
Yeah, you telling me how science has
Alright, cool.
proven religion.
Say less. I've got 5 minutes anyways. Alright, cool. So basically, the post was kind of referring to how science in itself kind of goes, I mean, not against the word of religion, but more so kind of debunks it. You know what I'm saying? So they came across plenty of religions that they were like, this is false, these things didn't happen, da. So now the Bible and the Quran are the two main, I guess, religions that they kind of go back and forth with. The Quran specifically
Seems quite
has-
unlikely, but sure.
Sorry?
Seems quite unlikely, but sure, I guess.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not really into science like that, but if I could find that post, I could probably send it over to you through TikTok or some shit. But essentially, what they were trying to explain was that
You should believe
science
everything
has-
you see on the internet.
Well, you know, that's the thing, innit?
Then again, you should believe
apparently it's
anything
backed up-
like that. But,
It's backed up
that's a
by
different
like
conversation.
university scientists and whatnot. So I mean, I was gonna take their word for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I truly doubt that's what's been said there, but sure, I guess.
Well, like I said, I mean, I'll come across. I've got your TikTok now. When I come across that post, I'm gonna send that to you, and you can have a little look for it.
Sure, why not? Why not?
No worries, my guy. Go on, bro. Take care of yourself.
Hey,
I'll
where
catch
you
soon.
from, by the way?
Huh?
Where you from?
I'm from London, bro.
From where?
London.
Where are you from originally?
London, innit? I was born in London.
So are you telling me, so you put it on the American accent or you put it on the London accent? That's what I've been trying to figure out this whole time.
Bro, I was actually raised up like core of my life in Texas.
So you come from Texas and you moved to London.
Nah, I was born in London. I got dual nationality, innit? I was born in London, moved to Texas. That's where my sister was born there. Then.
You sure not Canadian or something?
Nah, bro. Nah.
Fair play. I was thinking, yeah, something's wrong here, but yeah, I
Nah,
appreciate
I get that a
it.
lot, I get that a lot.
I didn't want to be like, yeah,
Go on,
what's
take
this
care
guy?
of yourself, yeah?
Alright, I appreciate it, bro. So yeah,
Go on, bro. Love.
so who else? Mark, come up here, bro. Just saying stuff. I gave you an opportunity to come up. Accept the opportunity if you want to speak. If you want to speak to me. So this TikTok is in the ground anyhow, so you may as well. Yo, people in the chat are crazy over there. I'm joking. I see what you're saying anyways. Yeah, I don't think there's ever going to be evidence of God in that way. So to scientifically prove it is just it's kind of out of the question. I don't have any religious beliefs, or at least not like I don't have any theological beliefs. That's what I need to say. There's likely things that I think and do religiously, but I don't have any theological beliefs. Put it that way. Let's see what we can do. We need to buff our character a bit better. No, this run is cooked already. Forget it. Let's go try use Mog or Mog. Yeah, okay, I guess you could say. I wouldn't necessarily say moral beliefs like that. I think I don't know. Yeah, grammatically you could say they are beliefs. Some things you believe to be right, some things you believe to be wrong. I guess you could say it in that kind of way. I don't tend to think of morals as beliefs like that. Oh, look at this. It's the Beast Hunter or Beast Slayer armor. Yep, no worries. Let's block this gin. Lol. Alright, what's up, Dicker G? How you doing, bro? Hey? Yeah. The projection is heavy. Alright, I think we'll have better luck streaming tomorrow at unusual time. Oh no, double dipped. Yeah, just do everything twice then. Yeah, random viewer. Humans do that all the time. They not only do it in religions, they do it in other ways as well. So, have you ever been on a diet? Things that are hard to do but are good for you, you know? That's what humans do. Oh, he's walking at us. Enemies are weak to damage. Hope this helps. Alright, great advice. I was planning to just look at them and see if that would do the job. How did that connect to me? Oh, he's on me. Oh,
Hi.
dead.
Sorry.
Hello?
I'm here. Yeah, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? By the way, W gameplay. I love Elden Ring.
Oh, I appreciate you. So what was you
Yeah.
saying about why would humans create a religion where it says to turn away from things we like doing?
Yeah, so I said that because if we take a look into Christianity, right?
Yep.
If you read the Bible, it basically tells us to turn away from the things that we like doing, like the
Like
things
what?
that we like. Okay, so let's say, I'm gonna use this example. In the Bible, it says you can drink, right? But don't drink until you get drunk. Correct?
Sounds like just advice that your mum would give you. It's not like anything impressive.
Well, yeah, you're right. But at the same
So
time,
don't get drunk. Ooh, so that's divine.
sorry, that's not a good example. That's not a good example.
So yeah, don't drink. I mean, yeah, it's good advice. Don't drink. It's very good advice.
Let's use I don't know if I can say this, but the way that we reproduce, correct?
Okay.
So in the Bible, I don't know if
Oops.
you read the Bible or anything, but from what I've read in the Bible, it says, that whoever you do that with, you're technically married to. Because
Yeah, I mean,
you're like
I'd be careful listening to stuff like that in the Bible. The Bible says some various dubious things about, let's say, male-female relations in many aspects. So I'd be careful with those kinds of views, taking them from the Bible. There are bits in the Bible which can be considered quite immoral when it concerns, let's just say, adult relations.
I disagree with you on that point.
Yeah, I don't want to sully your mind, but there definitely are some bad things in there.
Let's just agree to disagree about that right now.
Sure.
Yeah. Because I'm not here to change your point of view of how you feel, like about Christianity. Neither am I going to try and force you into it because that's not my job as a Christian. So
I mean, I would say, yeah. I mean, I don't want to be like give you biblical critique in that kind of way because I think it would be unfair because you sound kind of young, so you're probably not even aware of these kinds of things. To be fair, so
yeah, man, I'm 18. I
well,
mean,
well, I guess
I'm
you're old enough to
only
be on TikTok. I think. Do you have to be 21 to be on TikTok or 18?
no, it's 18.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. But yeah, like there are some things that are quite explicit, especially concerning men's daughters. I don't know how men marry them off or basically sell them into actual slavery and stuff like that. There's lots of dubious things in there that the Bible actually condones and actually even promotes. So I think it's kind of
In order, in
kind of
like in
dubious.
regards to that, the reason why the men sold their daughters off to like someone of higher power is to make sure that they had a better life, not because they were sold into slavery. Those women were free to leave
That's a PG version of it. Again, I don't want to like critique you on that. That's just something you're gonna have to figure out for yourself. Maybe if you read it again, or get a bit older, or run into a bit more of a biblical critique type of atheist. But it's not done for the benefit of the woman. Trust me, it never was. It still isn't to this day. If you look at the actual the way women are treated through the Abrahamic faiths, it is actually abhorrent. So I understand some women still function within these faiths, but they usually function with a more diluted version of the faith. Because if they were to function like orthodox or adherents, like proper, what's the right way to put it? I forget the term for it. But yeah, if they were to practice the faith consistently, you'd see just how damaging it is for women, right, across the board, women and girls. The Abrahamic faiths are particularly very bad to women and girls. But again, right, you're within the faith, so this is something you have to figure out for yourself.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get off now because I have, other things to do. But
Alright.
enjoy your time on here. Enjoy your gameplay.
Good luck to you. But I will answer your question though, right? Why would humans create a restrictive code, right? It's for two reasons. One, it's done to build virtues what seem to be good character, and the other is because they're trying to obtain something, so there's something to be gained in the afterlife, right? Sometimes you could actually say one is about creating good character, and the other is about aversion, avoiding something bad or gaining something good. So across human history and human cultures and across the spectrum of us, right, from Greece to Egypt, and Europe and back, right, people have created restrictive practices because it's seen as virtuous. Look into something called asceticism. You'll find a lot of the things found in asceticism is what's transferred over into Christianity or Buddhism or Taoism or Stoicism. All of these are different philosophies of how one ought to live their life, and that's where you get restrictive practices from. From a dietary code to a military regiment, we make restrictive practices because it's done to build good character or to avoid or to gain something. So that's why we do it.
Okay.
Right?
I'll look into that.
Cool. Thanks for coming up.
You're welcome.
Anyone else want to come up? Let's go. Hello?
Hello, sir.
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing alright. What about yourself?
Not too bad, man.
Great to hear. Humans invented God. Change my mind.
Yeah.
Okay. What invented us?
Say again?
What invented us?
I haven't got a reason to think something invented us. But I could offer competing hypothesis on what might have invented us.
I could offer historical hypothesis.
Sure, go for it.
The Torah and the Tanakh.
I wouldn't necessarily take them to be historical evidences, bro.
Or the Old Testament.
So are you talking about the creationist story then, basically? Garden of Eden, Old Genesis, that?
I would talk about the most ancient text we have known to man.
What would that be?
Torah.
Oh, that's
the Dead
incorrect.
Sea Scrolls.
That's completely incorrect, brother.
Or what is it? The Gilgamesh?
Yeah.
Tales of Gilgamesh?
I think so. They may have even found something
It's
since
a
then,
single,
actually.
It's a single tablet they have. I'm talking about collective.
Yeah, so I don't even think that's true either, right? There were civilizations that are capable of writing long before the Israelites came about in the
Yeah,
Levant.
which ones? The ones referred
Egypt.
to in the Torah?
Egypt, the
Egypt,
Mesopotamians,
Babylon,
Mesopotamians, the Sumerians. Yeah,
Samaritan.
yeah. So all of those people were
Yeah,
able to
bro.
write a long time before, before the Torah was ever put together. Hence, the Epic of Gilgamesh comes from Mesopotamia, which is the
Have you
ancestors.
ever read the Torah?
The ancestors of the Israelites are actually the
Have you ever read
Mesopotamians.
the Torah?
No, no,
Never.
no.
So you have no explanation of how we exist.
What do you mean? No explanation of how it exists. It's a book.
So the Torah literally gives you an explanation of how we were created.
Yeah, that's called Genesis.
God,
Yeah,
right?
it's called Genesis, brother. I
Be of
know.
the Most High, right?
I'm aware of
Be of the Most
Genesis. That's not a historical record, bro. It's a religious text.
High. I would argue it's very historical.
I think you're incorrect about that. The Torah is a religious
Are words
text.
not powerful?
Wait,
Torah
let's just
How did
agree.
God-
Let's agree that Torah is not a religious text.
Um,
Sorry, it's not.
agree
It's
that
not. It's not a
religious
history text. Sorry, I meant to say.
I can't agree on that.
All right. So why would you count the Torah as a history text
Because we were made with the word.
not a religious text?
I would say it's a religious and historical text. What?
No.
So it's both. Why can't it be both?
So you can have historical facts in a religious text, but it's not a history text. Right. So to call a book a history book, it needs to meet a certain criteria. I can give you like an analogy, if that would help.
Sure.
So let's say there's an event that happens in history, right, and we've got two accounts of that event. One account of that event has magic in it. It has blessings, curses, dragons, witches, hobbits, and elves in it. And one account doesn't have those things in it, right?
You have obviously not read the Torah.
So yeah, I'm just giving you an analogy as I explained, right?
You're saying witches.
So
like,
if one
referring to medieval.
Yeah, so just listen, bro. If one account, so we've got two accounts, and one of those accounts has magic in it, has spirits, ghosts, and gods in it. That account has less credibility than the one that doesn't. Do you know why it has less credibility? Because when we examine, when we examine reality, we don't find the magic, the spirits, the ghosts, the gods.
Okay, how are we conversing?
So
right now?
listen, brother. So if we've got two sources talking about one event in history, the one that doesn't have the things, the magical things, is the more likely reliable text. Since religious texts are primarily focused around gods, they're theological. They have a theological center. They're considered sacred texts and religious texts, not history books. So within a religious text, you can have a real place, you can have real people, you can have a real event. But the fact that there's magic and spirits and belief systems being talked about in it departs it from being a history book. Right,
So let me ask you a question. How are we having a conversation right now?
we're using
All we wanna do is
words.
through magic.
No, that just means you don't understand.
Okay, how is a non-living
Right.
organism connecting us on a call right now?
Right, because
Explain to me.
there's various different mechanisms at work.
Because we are not just fighting with flesh and blood, we are fighting
No,
with
bro.
principalities
No, bro, you're using the
that
internet.
live among us.
You're using a
You
microphone.
would
You're using the
believe in
internet,
Old Testament. You know
brother.
there's principalities.
All right, so there's an old saying called
believe in
any
principalities.
sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Essentially, that's what you just subscribed to. You said I don't understand how the internet works, therefore it's magic. That's
Okay, I
that's
understand
literally
how
what
it
you
works.
just
I
said.
don't understand why it works.
What do you
I
mean why it
understand
works?
how it
Then
works,
just
sir.
read a
I
book.
understand how it works. It works through nanotechnology, microchips.
Yeah, so binary code is in there, right? That's real. Right.
As well as alphabetical code.
Right, so
But we do
there's not magic.
we do not know-
See how you
we
just
do not know
demystified
why
it? It's not magic, right? You can find
But
out,
you don't know
right?
why it's responding. How is a non-living
Yeah.
organism responding
It's
back?
technology, brother. Right? It's technology. We could both figure out how the internet works. Actually, I did an IT course way back in the day, and they told me, but I just can't remember. But that being said, yeah, the use of technology, right, isn't magic, right? Can we just establish that using technology isn't magic?
I would establish that it has a form of magic to it.
What is the magic? Is the magic
I would
just the
assume
unknown
that
part?
What is the magic? The code.
The code?
Mhm.
I don't think that's the case, bro. Again,
We are
I'm not that
we are speaking to
tech
knowledge
inclined. No, we're speaking to each other, bro.
Okay, we're speaking to each other, but something is connecting us.
Yes, various
to be able to speak
mechanisms.
to each other.
Yes, various mechanisms like mics and speakers, transceivers and responders and all these kinds of things. Circuitry, circuit boards. Right, we're using the electromagnetic spectrum,
That's
and our
how,
voices
that's not
and our
why.
voices are traveling across that, across the oceans or whatever.
That's how,
There's an
that's not why.
explanation to it though, in simple terms. If me and you are both techie kind of guys and we could explain the internet and our phones and everything, then we'd have a why. There is a why. It just takes a
Okay.
Google. So
How
considering
about
that there is a why,
Who is transmitting? Who is transmitting?
there is no who, bro.
Our voices. Who
Well,
is transmitting our voices?
Well, the people I pay my internet bill to. What about you? Right. So the devices that I bought and the internet I pay. Right. But it's not magic. Let's
So
be
do
serious,
not-
bro.
You don't believe in any type of esoteric knowledge.
So
no?
what does esoteric mean?
The unknown, the forces we cannot see.
I don't think that's true.
Gravity, for an example.
So esoteric means hidden, right?
The
Exoteric,
forces we cannot see. It's a hidden force
yeah,
that we cannot see. Correct?
no. Right.
No.
So I
this
have a
conversation
book.
that's being
I
had-
have a book with information in it, right? And it's written in a way where only I can read it and my friends can read it. That is esoteric knowledge, right? But it's not necessarily hidden in terms of it doesn't exist in the world. It's just written in a certain way where you, as someone as an outsider, cannot understand it. That's all that means. It's hidden.
I explained it with
That's it.
the hidden forces behind
Yeah. What are forces? What are the forces?
principalities. From the Bible. we
What is
know
the
that it's
definition of a
God.
principality?
From the Bible, we know that it's God and His creation.
Yeah, that's what you believe in, brother. But we're
But
trying to figure out.
It's historical.
No, it's not historical. Some people
Brother.
can believe that.
So ancient Babylon, ancient Egypt, ancient
Yeah,
Samaria.
as I've established, you can
Not-
have. Go ahead.
Yeah, you established to me you can have historical, archaeological evidence, but you can also have the magical and the mystical. But my argument is, why are you just like closing off the magical and the mystical part when that's been told throughout all of history, and it's quite
Yeah, because
literal in
that's
our
called-
world with
that's called a
technology.
belief.
Technology is spiritual, bro.
Because it's a belief. In order to believe something, you need to be convinced of it, right? But like we just established, you at one point said us talking is magic, and then we was like, oh, what's actually happening? We're using software and
I'm trying to
hardware.
say us
That's
talking-
what's really happening, right? So we
us talking
demystified it.
Thousands of miles away is magic, bro.
So
We should not be
principality.
able to talk.
Principality means a state ruled by a prince. In traditional Christian angelology, the fifth highest order of the ninefold celestial hierarchy. Like, I don't think that's the way you was using that word.
No, because it's not how it's described biblically. Look
A-
up the definition.
a principality, or
Look up the
sometimes
biblical
princedom.
definition of principality. The biblical.
All right, cool.
Biblical.
'Cause I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
It's almost like esoteric.
Refer to high-ranking demonic or angelic spiritual beings rather than earthly monarchs that wield authority within spiritual hierarchies. Right. So, like, what is that supposed to mean?
It would refer to God. It would refer to Satan. It would refer to
Yeah.
demons. It would refer to angels.
But those things are in question, right? So obviously I don't believe in those things. So why would
But
that
they
make any
revealed-
sense
they
to
have
me?
revealed themselves throughout history, no? From
No,
certain
no.
different accounts.
No, that's what people
Just because
believe.
they haven't revealed themselves to you,
Bro, that's
or
just
me,
what people
I'm
believe.
not claiming they've revealed themselves to me. They haven't
Yeah,
revealed
but-
themselves to me. Does not mean people do not go seeking for these.
Right.
These
Yeah,
beliefs, right? So
but
have you heard of
but
the
people go looking for ghosts all the time.
Or the Zo-
There are
Zohar?
people who probably think Pokemon are real. Go looking for Pokemon, right? But what bearing on reality does that actually have, right? You can think all of these things, you can believe all of these things if you choose to, but how does that
Let me
affect
take
our
you-
reality?
Let me take your okay. How does it affect our reality? Look
Yeah.
up who set the blueprint, for code.
For code,
Look up where code came from, please.
which kind of code?
Numerical, as well as alphabetical.
What? Are you sure that's actually a thing?
Yes, numerical and alphabetical code.
Do you mean
has
like binary
stemmed
code?
From Judaism, the Kabbalah and Zoranism, or the Zohar, the book.
Do you mean Zoroastrianism?
So like,
Do you mean Zoroastrianism?
basically, the proof is in the pudding. The evil spirits are using technology to
No, bro.
distance people from God. Yes.
Alright, so what? Alright. So give me reasons to think that's true. Who invented code? Ada Lovelace is widely recognized as the first computer programmer for developing the first algorithm intended for a machine in 1843. She wrote instructions for Charles Babbage's proposed mechanical computer, the analytical engine to calculate Morley
Look up, has
numbers.
all code stemmed from the Kabbalah. Look up, has all.
Oh my
code-
gosh.
I'm telling you, has all code stemmed from the Kabbalah? Because it's just giving you semantic answers. It's giving
What do you mean? It gave me a historical answer. What do you mean? Oh my gosh. Why would I want one? Why would I want one?
Nuanced answer. You think
The
you think
Kabbalah,
technology
right?
Stemmed out of nowhere. Look
No,
up,
it comes from us, humans.
has all code stemmed from the Kabbalah? Look that up.
It says no, all code does not stem from the Kabbalah. While some perspectives suggest a thematic or philosophical connection, computer science and Kabbalah are distinct, separate fields. Here's a breakdown of the relationships. Do you really want to go further than this?
No, yeah, go further.
That was long. Alright, distinct differences. Kabbalah is a form of Jewish mysticism focused on understanding the divine and the spiritual world. Computer programming is a technical field based on engineering, mathematics, and logic designed to operate electronic hardware. Symbolic similarities. Some commentators have noted conceptual similarities, comparing the binary nature of modern programming, zeros and ones, that's binary code, to the permutations of Hebrew letters used in Kabbalistic texts to describe creation. In this view, both fields involve creating meaning through the arrangement of fundamental elements. Gematria versus binary. This is coming from Instagram, so this is a bit of a dodgy source, right? Kabbalah uses gematria, which assigns numerical values to Hebrew letters to interpret sacred texts. This is different from the functional mathematical binary code used to create, right? So there's nothing that says it comes from the Kabbalah, bro. So it's just something you, again, that's just something that you believe, bro.
The idea of each word and letter has meaning.
Yeah,
And
that's...
we've sourced that
bro.
into technology, and it's giving
Alright,
us.
so do you remember when you was a kid? I don't know how old you are, right? They used to do these things called decoder rings. So like you could get a ring and it would have like a letter and a number that corresponds to it. So you could write things in code. And then you give the ring to someone and they could descramble the message that you wrote. Do you remember that? Or maybe you've heard of
Yeah, I do remember
there's a
that.
place in the UK called Bletchley, and it's famous for cracking the code. I can't remember what it's called. The code that Hitler was using in World War II. Right? These things aren't any extravagant kind of, spiritual woo-woo shit.
Yeah, they're not. You're not explaining anything that has any bigger value, bro. You're explaining small examples.
Duh!
How we use
Because you're telling me about you're telling me about your beliefs, right? So let's rewind to the top of the conversation because we've gone way deep into minutia, right?
Yeah, we
It's complete nonsense at this point. You're saying to me you can prove to me that God created humans based on a historical account, and we pointed to what that historical account was. You thought it was the oldest book in the world, and you was wrong about that, right? We already established
I would
that.
say it's the oldest contextualized book in the world. Yes.
No, it's not, right? But anyways. Anyway, so
What is, bro? What is the oldest?
well, not book
Other
per
than
se,
just
but the
the
oldest
tablet
text.
building
The oldest text, right? That's what was originally stated. Anyways, right? I established to you. Yes, I'm aware of the story of Genesis and even where it comes from, the creation tablet passed down
Exodus,
upon the
Leviticus,
Mesopotamians, right?
Numbers, Deuteronomy. You know all five.
It doesn't make a difference to me, right? I understand the base. I understand the basic creation story. Now, within the Jewish people, they take the Torah to be a historical account. But you know why they take it to be a historical account? Because it's part of their belief system. People outside of that tradition don't take that account to be a fact. And in fact, across the world, there are a spectrum of creationist stories, right? There are various different types of creationist stories. Some that involve animals, some that involve spirits, some that involve men. Right? There's no reason to take any of those as actual concrete facts or records of history when we can actually study the natural world. So back to the top of the conversation. Why should I think God created humans and humans didn't create God or invent God? You still there, bro?
Yeah, I'm stuck on how you said the natural, right? We study the natural world,
Yeah.
right? That's why I brought up phones. You know, that's why I brought up technology. That's why I brought up energy.
Yeah, they're products of the natural world, bro.
It's undescribed. No, it's energy. Energy is.
Bro.
Look up if energy.
Energy is a property of the... Yes, it is. Matter is concentrated energy. Matter is considered natural. Energy is considered natural.
It's a natural resource, but it does
gosh.
not produce. Energy does not produce something natural, bro.
What? Energy itself is natural, right? So there's different types of energy. For instance, there's kinetic energy, then there's potential energy. This is us describing something, right? But the thing that we're describing is natural, right? It's not supernatural. It's not magic.
Technology is supernatural.
If I throw a punch at the wall, I'd be transferring energy into the wall, right? So it's natural.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Okay, but
if lightning struck a rod and it charged a battery somehow, like obviously what happened that simply, that would be energy. That would be natural. Okay, it's not outside of the natural world.
You're a living organism who was created by God.
Why should I think that? That's what I'm saying, bro. Why should I think that? Right? Because to me, the God bit is a story, bro. Like, bro, that's your beliefs.
Biblical and historical.
No, bro, that's not historical, right? That's a belief system. That's not historical. If it was historical, bro, we wouldn't even be discussing it. It would just be a matter of fact. No, people have held beliefs, and those beliefs have been written down throughout history. Yes, right. But to say that beliefs are synonymous with history is incorrect, right? For instance, we could live through an event in like the 2020s, and in like 2030 people will be talking about that event in a completely different way from how we live through it, and they'd believe different things about it, right? Think about 9/11, right? Think about that. I lived through that, right? So I have a context for that, but people believe things about 9/111, right? So it's...
Sure, let me make this secular for you. So do you have a therapist?
No.
Do you know people in your life who have therapists?
Possibly, but I don't really pry in their personal lives like that.
Do you respect psychologists? Do you
Yes.
view them as their work is high?
Well,
high echelon?
No. I take it to be a soft science. So I wouldn't. Yeah.
So whenever they
The individual psychologist, maybe not, right? But if you're talking about like psychology or psychoanalysis as a broad topic, yes, I respect the topic. I'm interested in the topic, but yeah.
So when they refer to manifesting, and also when you look at studies,
Yeah, so you won't really get
right?
You won't get
Placebo.
psychologists talking
Do you know
about manifesting like that, right? They might be talking about manifesting in like a health context, but not in like a, you know, Jenny wanted to be a hairdresser and she manifested herself into being a hairdresser. Like psychologists don't speak like that, or maybe like really bad ones speak like that. Maybe really bad ones do, right?
What you think and believe is how you will feel.
Yeah, of course. Yes. They do inform each other. Your mental states can inform your physical states, right? No, not necessarily. Right, there's this new age woo version of what you're talking about.
So whenever
that's not
whenever
applicable.
we have health studies, right? Whenever we have health studies, you have a 50% are getting the actual drug, and the other 50% are getting the placebo pill that's like fucking some vitamins, right?
I know.
And the placebo has a better alternative effect because they feel like they're taking, like they just feel They're not
Yeah,
taking
yeah.
the drug.
There's
to
all
feel
there's
better,
also
right?
something called
Explain-
the nocebo
explain
effect.
that,
There's
explain that.
there's also something called the nocebo effect as well, right? So you can not experience the thing and still get negative effects from it too, right? So it works both ways. It's a psychological phenomenon. It's based on how the human mind is wired. For instance, if I was to tell you like something that was shocking, it would actually biochemically send chemical reactions through your body. It'd release adrenaline, etc. Right? Or if I was to tell you something really nice, it might release serotonin. These are chemical reactions. So it's like a feedback loop in terms of what the mind can do to the body. Mental states can change physical states, and physical states can change mental states. That's really all there is to it.
So you think the mind is disconnected from the body?
No, I think of the mind as an extension of the body. Right? I would be a materialist from that point of view.
Is it an extension? Do you know what you mean by extension? Would
Right,
it not
so-
be a whole? It's a whole, right? The mind is.
Yeah, when I say extension, I mean it comes from the body. Right? I think the body generates consciousness, and that consciousness is what we describe as mind. That's kind of what the materialist view is. It says matter before mind. An idealist view would say mind before matter. Okay, that'd more be in tune with gods and stuff like that. Okay, not to say they you can't hold the two views at the same time. You could be a materialist and still believe in gods and shit, but just in a different way. Alright, but anyways, I hold the view that mind is a product of matter and not the other way around. So when I say your mind is an extension of your body, it's just literally a software that's being generated.
Mind is a product of a divine being, bro.
Because divine beings are something we made up.
And there is code behind our brain.
That might
Look
be
up,
true.
A PC is literally based off of our systems, our systems of our it's literally based off our nervous system.
No, not yet. It's not. Not yet. It's not.
It is, bro. Look it up.
No, bro.
Technology is based off of it's a manipulation.
Yes, of course. But who is doing that? It's us.
Manipulation of God's creation.
We are doing that, right? See how you shoehorn God in there, right? There's no definite proof of a God creating anything, right? The only frame of reference you have for something being created is when a human creates stuff. And since humans create gods, they assign gods the same anthropomorphic qualities that we have. So now we can say God could be all loving. He could express anger. He could create. He could design. He could be intelligent. Oh,
The
get
biblical
snotty.
narrative is that there is one God.
It's my Jewish side coming through. I'm joking.
There is one God.
Oh.
There's one God, God the Father, and He sent His Son to die on the cross for our sins, bro. The biblical narrative.
Yeah,
is true.
no, it doesn't.
And all the
No, that's a belief.
other texts.
That's a belief, right? So what kind of ways do you go about finding out if something is true, right? What is the best way to go about finding out if something is true?
You question it.
You question it.
You question it constantly.
Yeah, but then there has to be some extension of that process. What's next after questioning it?
Answers.
We try to verify it, right?
Answers through whether that be a spiritual answer or a physical answer. It doesn't matter, I think. We all question God. Therefore,
personally-
His existence holds to be true.
Personally,
The fact that
I
we're
think
still questioning Him
I think the only way we can
6,000
approach that.
years later holds his truth, bro.
No, not necessarily, bro.
So
Like,
we're just
do you
questioning
like? Do you know how
something that
old?
has never-
Do you know how
we're
old
questioning
some
something that
Shakespeare
has never
stories are?
given us any type of
Like-
physical or spiritual evidence. We're going to continue to question something that has never revealed himself spiritually or physically.
Well, yeah, because it's not revealed itself.
Yeah. Well,
Like we just established that, right? So think about it like this, yeah. If someone just tells you something, you're under no obligation to just believe them.
You know he has revealed himself
Listen, bro.
numerous and
Listen,
countless
bro.
of times throughout history.
If someone tells you
You've never
something,
read my text.
if someone
Never
tells
read
you
the book
something,
of the
right?
Bible.
If someone
Never
just
read
tells
the
you
book of the
something,
Bible.
thank you, I appreciate that. But if someone just tells you something, you're under no obligation to just believe it because they're telling you it.
Yes,
Even
no,
if that person
question.
holds authority in your life, right? So you start by questioning what they're saying, and then you look about how can I verify what is being said Right? So depending on what's being said will tell you how you're going to go about verifying it. If someone makes a claim that is impossible to verify, that claim is called unfalsifiable. So there is no way to verify it, and there's also no way to disprove it. So claims like that should not be accepted across the board, right? Unless you're talking about imagination, fictional things. Okay?
And we're all born
So-
with an imagination. I don't
Sure,
think our
I
imagination
agree.
is fiction.
That's how
I don't
we
think
invented a
our
god.
imagination is fiction.
That's how we invented a god. Right? But if someone just tells you something, you're under no obligation to just believe it. Right? You should question it, and then you should take it a step further. You should try to prove it's true or
My
prove
point,
it's
bro, my
wrong,
point is
if you care.
The Bible shows that he has revealed himself throughout all
Right,
history,
yeah.
sir.
And as we've
Through the
established,
Israelites.
religious
Now,
texts,
in modern times, the Jews.
right, yeah, but the religious
Ooh.
texts are about people's belief systems. They're not about
Bro,
facts of
but
reality.
I'm telling you, the spiritual and physical evidence is there. It upholds itself. You just gotta be willing to go read it, sir. You
Yeah,
haven't read
well,
it.
to be fair, you don't know what I
been
have
stuck
read
on
and
all
what I
these
haven't
other
read, right? To be quite honest with you.
Who have these,
But
these long studies that they never have an answer to.
Yeah,
they
bro.
study something for
So,
their whole life.
how
and
many
come up
religious
with
texts have
BS
you read?
conclusions.
How many religious texts have you read?
I've read the entire Bible. That's about it. Right?
Have you read the Quran?
No.
Have you read the
It's
bag?
from
What?
600
No,
years
no
after
extras. Don't want to hear no extras.
the
Just
last
I'm asking you. Have you read the Bhagavad Gita?
No.
Right.
Is that the Buddhist?
It's kind of right. It's more Indus Valley, India kind of thing, right? But that being said, right, within them texts, they claim that their magic men have revealed themselves too. Right?
Dude, you
They
haven't read those
believe.
texts? I haven't read those texts.
Exactly.
What I've heard-
Exactly. That's the point here, right? That's the
What I've
big
heard,
point here.
those texts-
It's not
those texts do not
necessary.
point- Those texts do not point to a creator.
Of course they do. Of course they do. Of course they do. People believe in them wholeheartedly. No.
Okay.
No, bro. People believe in them wholeheartedly, right? They do point to a creator. But the thing is, what I'm saying to you is this, right? It doesn't matter what the text says because it only pertains to the people who believe in what's in there. Outside of that text, we don't find things that correlate with that in reality. So a religious text is about people's belief systems. It's what people believe. Now, within a religious text, you can have lots of real things too.
Correlate to the Bible with good and evil all the time,
Bro, all right. So, explain to me what evil is. Right? Give me your definition of evil.
Anything without good. Or,
Without good.
okay, what's evil? Anything not of life, not of God.
Nope, that's not a definition of evil either.
Biblical definition would be anything that is not of God.
Well, there's a bunch of things that would be. Well, put it this way, right?
We're of God, so we are
If listen, from a biblical point of view, that wouldn't make sense either. Right? That means nothing would be evil then, because everything's from God. Right? From a biblical sense, that wouldn't make sense either.
I mean,
Okay.
this phone is not from God.
Of course it is.
My stock.
Anyways, look, I'll tell you the definition. I will tell you the definition just to save you this long silliness, right? Of course it is. All right, look. So internal critique. If God is responsible for creating everything, right, from a biblical point of view, then everything is of God, right? So put that to one side, right? But the actual definition of evil, right, is something that is morally reprehensible, right? That is the definition of evil. Morally reprehensible.
Because people hold to different morals. I understand that.
Right. So then what does that make evil then?
Well, from a biblical perspective, evil is anything that is not of God.
I just explained to you from a biblical perspective that wouldn't make sense either. Right? Evil is just by a standard definition something that is morally reprehensible. So you can take the moral codes prescribed in the Bible and see what doesn't align with the moral codes and say that is evil, right? That's how you would decide from a biblical point of view. If it goes against the moral codes of the Bible, then it's evil. No, bro, stop being silly, right? Stop being silly, right? You and I are both men, right? Let's stop being silly, right?
Yeah, and our tongue is a fire.
Fool or no? No, speak for yourself, right? Speak for yourself. Satan is your father if you're lying, right? Satan is your father if you're lying, right? There's nothing to lie about here. There is nothing to lie about here. We're getting to truth, right? We're trying to help each other, right? Right? There's no such thing as perfection. I agree, right? Right. So why state it? So why state it? There's no lies being said here. Simply this, right? If something that is evil is what's considered morally reprehensible, and morals are, like you just said, different depending on where you draw them from, evil as a view is going to be subjective, right? To think evil exists as some objective substance on its own, you could maybe think that philosophically, but in real life scenarios, that it doesn't work like that. In the same sense, good isn't some unique substance onto itself, right? It could be a set of principles you're working towards, but it itself isn't a thing, just like evil itself isn't a thing. Jane thinks, swimming naked is good. John thinks swimming naked is evil, all right? It's the same thing they're judging, but they're using a different moral code to judge the thing, right? Does that make sense to you? So to say that good and evil exists is still a subjective statement. But like you said, if God is responsible for creating everything, then everything is an extension of God, right? Everything is of God. So then nothing could be evil from that point of view. It would just be part of God. But again, internal critique. Evil would also be an expression of God, like Satan would be an expression of God.
We reject, right? So everything stems from God. You're right. You're right.
In fact, there's a King James version of the Bible that says, where God says, I am the creator of evil, right? But it got changed to, I create calamity. Okay, but that's again, who cares about biblical critique, right? We're just talking about what we can know as two normal men in the real world. We ain't got no historical evidence for any of that ever happening. But what we can actually be honest with each other and say, right, where do books come from? Men. Where does language come from? Men. So if there's books that exist and there's language that exists and men write books, it's likely that what's in the book came from a man too. Okay? Now, whether what you think the man is saying is true or not is a different matter.
I agree.
Right? But it's on you to verify what you're believing in. There has to be good reasons to believe in it. No?
And when you read the Bible, it completely empties yourself.
I don't know if I agree with that, brother.
And fills you with the Holy Spirit.
Alright, so what is the Holy Spirit, bro? What is the Holy Spirit?
It's God's breath telling you to do it, bro. I would describe it as that.
Yeah, I don't think. Do you know what? I think that's as good explanation as any. Right? I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that's as good as any.
It's you breathing His will on a day-to-day basis. I would refer to the Spirit as.
Yeah, I would say that's as good definition as any, because you know why? The Holy Spirit is a nonsensical concept. It's literally created as a gap filler. it's nonsense, fundamentally. Now, if you was to say, we're operating in the spirit of love, right? We're like kind of personifying love into this like energy or this singular point, right? We're working through this, or we're operating in the spirit of sportsmanship, right? Those things from a linguistic sense make sense, but a Holy Spirit can only work in that same kind of way. It can't exist as its own entity, right? Because it's just God. Then there's no need for the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is an apologetic smoother for when shit doesn't make sense in the Bible. It would just be God.
Yeah, it would just. I mean, that is why people uphold the Trinity. You have a good point. Yeah, like,
it would just be God.
3 in 1. It would be his Holy Spirit, bro. It would be what he utilizes.
Yeah, sure.
That's how he describes it. The only reason people point to the Holy Spirit, right, is because that's how he describes it within his words.
I don't know if that's true, right? In the beginning, you started out by talking about the Torah. The Torah has a view on exclusive monotheism, or Judaism in general. Yeah. That means God does not interact with earth as a spirit or as a man. He is holy God all the time and out of this like world. He doesn't interact with the world on that level. It's only in Christianity, which brought to you by Roman Catholics, man. Brought to you by the Roman Empire, where you start to get these views, right?
It's brought to us by the 12 apostles and Paul.
No, that's not true, right? Because you don't actually you don't actually even know who wrote the books of the Bible, right? Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
The fullest contextualized
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John
is from the Greeks.
are anonymous, okay? Either way, it makes no difference. All I'm trying to say to you is this view of the Holy Spirit, I don't even think it's meant to be in the Bible in that kind of way. I think it's people outside who add it as a doctrine. But that's just my views, right? Not a biblical critique type of guy. Don't really care either way, okay?
I have my own personal, like, I don't think the Holy Spirit is necessarily God, of the Old Testament, like the Most High, but I do think he gives it authority to move mountains in our life, bro.
Maybe. But you know why I would say I would acknowledge that? Because the Holy Spirit is used in any context that the believer feels like using it. Right? It's just like God in that sense. It's a concept that you can bend and shape to your own will and your own needs. Just like God is. Right? So different people walk around saying Holy Spirit this, Holy Spirit that, in any context that they need it at that time. It's just another invention. From my point of view, right? A non-believer.
Yeah, I get that. From your point of view, it's just an invention. My point of view, it's like it's something that is interceded in our lives, in everyone's life.
What do you mean by interceded? What does that mean?
So like you feel bad, like it interceded would be like just like it's touched your life, right? It's pushed itself. It's basically you do an action and you feel bad about that action, and the reason you're feeling bad is because the Holy Spirit is interceding in your life.
Nah, bro, it's just your conscience, man. That's just your conscience, bro. I mean, again, I find these things destructive and dysfunctional because it removes you from yourself, ultimately. It keeps making you look for these outside things.
Yourself is the evil, bro.
No way, bro.
You are evil without God.
Nonsense.
You are evil without God.
Nonsense.
Without God.
Nonsense. All right. So explain this, right? What has a baby ever done to anybody? Why are they automatically immoral and evil?
I messed up. You're not evil.
Nonsense.
But you are evil without God. You are evil without
Nonsense. Right? It's nonsense, right? Think,
good shepherd,
brother.
Shepherd who created.
Brother, just think for a second. Just think for a second, right? If God is all powerful, all knowing, and all loving, right? There's nothing you could ever do that wouldn't be in its will. Its will would be the ultimate will. So you wouldn't just be evil by default, right?
That's
what would that say about God? What would that say about God if you were just evil by default? What would that say about him? I think
we're all think of God like an almighty father, and we're all his children. That's how he describes.
Yeah. You could view it like that. You could view it like that, but you know what that'd be like? That'd be like going to work, knowing that you got a boss, and then pretending like your boss is a colleague that works underneath you. That'd be stupid, wouldn't it? Because you know he has all of this power, right? No. I need not, right? I need not. I understand the view you're giving, right?
When were you most happy?
I don't know, right? I don't know, right? But
you were a child,
not necessarily. Not necessarily. Brother, listen, not everyone had a good childhood, you know, right? Some people had terrible childhoods, right? So,
people that had those bad
listen, bro.
The people that did those bad childhoods, those people are damned.
No, bro. Bro, listen, what would that say about God? This is the bit that you guys keep missing, right? So if someone wanted to, badly criticize Christianity, they could say it's an apocalyptic death cult that hates children, right? Based on what you're saying.
What?
Right. I know it sounds wild, right? I'll give no. Because of the fall, right? It hates children automatically. It says you are sin, you are dirty because of some next apparent Adam and Eve actions before you came into existence. So by that standard, it already hates children who grow up to become men, right? The apocalyptic. No, brother, you already said everyone is evil, bro. Listen, you already said everyone is evil.
You're speaking from
brother. No, I'm aware.
You become corrupted
right.
by the accuser. That is
but whose will would that be under? If man is an invention of God, right? If man brother, listen. If man is an invention of God, right? Satan is also an invention of God. Who still holds the ultimate power within the scheme?
Satan hates that he hates God because
Brother,
God allowed for him
it doesn't
to
make
use
sense.
his own.
You're doing mental gymnastics because it doesn't make sense.
It
Right?
does, bro.
No, it doesn't make sense. So to consider your fellow man, to consider your fellow man already damned, already like effed already from the jump, is a wrong way of viewing. You are. That is why you referred to the fool earlier on.
We are damned by the accuser, the serpent.
No, bro. The serpent has no power in the scheme. Look, just think. How can the serpent ever have any power or dominion over man and earth if it's not God's will?
Because he's chose his own will.
Then it's
And
God's
he hates
will.
God.
No, G, you're not
He hates
hearing
God.
it. You're not
Exactly. That's why he
listening.
hates God.
You're not listening,
That's why
right?
he hates God,
So,
because it was God's will to allow for him to
Brother.
choose his own will.
bro, that's what I'm trying to explain to you, right? So think about free will, right? Free will is saying you have the ability to make choices that you want to make, uncoerced by anybody else, right? The funny kind of spin or play off here is if someone has to give that power to you, you don't have free will. They control your will, right? So the person that can bestow free will upon you, they have the ultimate will, right? The top ceiling of wills, the will of wills, right? So if listen, no, listen to me. I'm giving you a understanding, right?
You're abusing the definition.
No, bro.
You said will like 10 times.
Of course.
Establishing the exact definition of what it is.
All right, yeah. The ability to act unconstrained by necessity or fate or at one's own discretion. That's the definition of free will. Okay.
Okay. The ability to act in one's own discretion.
No. The ability. No, it's very key. It's very important. No, that's the bit you heard. Listen again. The ability to act unconstrained by necessity or fate, or at one's own will. At one's own will at one's own discretion. Sorry, it's not one's own will. It's at one's own discretion. Right? That's a secondary definition. Right? So the ability to act, unconstrained by necessity or fate or at one's own discretion. That's not a philosophical definition. It's a general definition. Okay, right. So if someone has to bestow that power on you for you to be able to use it, you do not have free will where that person is concerned. Right? That person has overriding will compared to yours because your free will was given to you by necessity and fate. It's not by your discretion, just like Satan's free will was given to him by necessity and by fate. So the overriding will is still running it. You know, like how we're playing Elden Ring? In Elden Ring, there's something called the greater will, right? So all things that occur are within the greater will's plan. In this example, God's plan.
Yeah, okay. I can agree with that. And
right.
The Creator's will plan.
So
the Creator's will's plan was to sacrifice his son for our sins, bro. And you have to believe in that.
No, right, you might believe in that. You might believe in that, but I'm showing you the contradictions here. I'm showing you the because it doesn't make sense. I'm trying to explain it to you, right? Look, it's like saying, right, if God is the one running the whole scheme, right, at the best type of apologetic you could give for it is that God is such an all-powerful creature that he wanted to be able to experience what men experience. That's the best apologetic you could really give for the Jesus story. Because to say God is him, but he's also Jesus at another time and he's also a Holy Spirit wouldn't make any sense. Because he wouldn't need to sacrifice himself to forgive himself. It wouldn't make sense, right? So the best apologetic you could give is that God wanted to experience what men experience, so he came as Jesus and allowed himself to suffer, right? That's the best one you could give, right? But even that in a larger scheme also makes no sense, because the will of all things happening on earth is God's. Even though in the Bible it says he's given Satan dominion of the earth, it's still in his schema, right? He's looking at the map like me and you right now. It's in his schema for it to happen this way, from your point of view. Okay? Now, the secondary contradiction is if you were to say God's nature is fundamentally good, but he has all of this power, then he wills this shit to happen. Right? That's contradictory. He can't be willing Satan to have dominion over earth and fundamentally be good. Right? There's problems across the spectrum here.
I think you just need to read the Bible, bro. And come
I
to
might know a little bit more than you think I do. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not a Bible scholar, right? That's what I would say.
You're talking creation. Yeah, like
Gosh.
you're talking theology, bro. You're
Good
talking-
gosh. But yes,
I don't know, bro.
back to the
Talking,
top of the conversation, right? You want me to think that God created humans and not the other way around. What reasons should I think that?
Metaphysics.
What does that tell me?
There is design and creation.
No. When humans create things, yeah, sure. But like that,
Oh my! Do we not have design, bro?
yeah,
Are not
we
designed?
design
Do we not
things.
have systems with
No,
our
no,
bodies,
no,
sir?
no. See, what
No,
you're
no,
doing,
no.
that's
We
called
don't have- we
question
don't have a
begging.
immune system.
That's called
We don't
question
have a
begging.
nervous system.
Yes,
We don't
yes, yes,
have-
yes. We're describing
are we
those
not a
things, brother.
design
No,
creation?
no, 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 no,
Are
no.
trees? Do trees not have a life cycle?
Brother,
they
listen,
not-
listen, right?
Do, like, are you?
All of those
oblivious
things
to
are
the
true.
Creation around us, sir?
Yes, that's
Are
the
you
question
oblivious
begging.
to the designer?
Are you oblivious to what is being said to you? It's like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, bro. Listen, I appreciate you, right? But you're not listening.
Sir.
No, no, you're just not hearing what's being said to you. I know
just
it's
said
difficult.
there's-
Right? I know
you
it's
said there's
difficult.
only design in the creation that humans create. Like what?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
All right. So
Do
think.
animals not
So
have
think
a-
about. Listen.
a nervous system as well.
Yes, bro.
A
Yes, yes. Come on,
system
come
of-
on. We know. Yes, listen. Just listen.
Yeah,
Right.
we know,
So
so
what am I
the
saying?
designer knows.
What am I saying? Right. The only frame of reference a human has for design and creation is self-referential, meaning in a way, right, that we reference ourselves, our own capability to design things, our own capability to create things.
not
When
true.
we describe
studied-
when we
if you
describe
look-
natural
if you know
things,
actual
listen, bro.
science-
I'm giving you
science
an
started
explanation.
with the study of the creator.
No,
studied creation
no,
around
no, bro.
And
That
now
is circular
we
reasoning.
have our own system
No, no.
in our world.
Bro.
Technology with
Oh my gosh.
science did not
Oh my
start with us creating things. It
Oh my
started with
gosh.
us studying creation.
Oh my
It
gosh.
started with us studying what created us, sir.
Yes, that's
I believe
circular.
that to be God. I believe that. to
That's
be God.
fine. You're allowed to believe what you want to believe, but understand what I'm trying to
just
say
don't
to
see
you,
how you
right?
view that
If you
creation
look at a
doesn't-
tree, like if I just threw you, if you just came from a vacuum, like you just came from like completely isolated from the rest of humanity, and you just plopped here one day,
You're
right?
throwing a wild.
I'm giving you an analogy. I'm trying to help it. I'm trying to simplify it.
Satire.
No.
Satire fucking analogy.
I'm laughing because it's ridiculous. All right, I'm laughing because it's
You said a
ridiculous.
vacuum. You imagine you come out of nowhere.
I'm trying to give you a simpler analogy.
There's no physical. There's no physical evidence for that. sir.
All right, thank you. Right. So let's say you came from a different culture. Let's say you come from a different culture, right? Instead of a
Your
vacuum.
logic, bro.
Let's say you come from a different culture instead of a vacuum, right? You come from.
No one has come from
You
a
come from
vacuum.
Eastern
Where is that
culture.
historical-
Listen,
there is no
bro.
physical
This-
or
this
any
guy is
evidence.
scared,
You cannot
man.
prove that we've come from a vacuum.
Yeah,
No,
I
I'm
said.
gonna use your logic.
Oh my
Because
god.
I'm not about to go down this.
All right, listen, right? As a different
wanna go down this
example,
nonsense.
as a different example instead of a vacuum, right? Imagine you come from a different culture, let's say an Eastern culture, for example, and you have no frame of reference for gods as we understand them. I'm going to unmute you, bro, right? Just want you to listen for a minute, okay? I've invited you to unmute. Just listen for a second, right? So forget the vacuum analogy. I was trying to simplify it. But let's say you come from a different culture, an Eastern culture, for instance, and you have no frame of reference for gods and creator types of gods. That's just not something you know anything about. If I tell you now, go over there and examine that tree for me, right? You're not going to go to the tree with this pre-held view about there being a god creating stuff because you have no frame of reference for it. Does that make sense to you? So what you're going to do is go and look at the tree and figure out the tree for what it is.
No, because throughout all history, we've had frame of reference to the Most High. I think in Asia, Africa,
gosh.
I think in all continents.
Bro
Europe,
can't. This bro just can't
North,
track.
South America, I think every continent knows the biblical God. It's just we
No.
reject him and we choose to
No,
be our
bro.
own gods and love other gods.
That's not how that worked. Because remember when I asked you earlier on, have you read the Quran or the Bhagavad Gita? You said no. Right, so you don't have a frame of reference for the stuff it says in there, do you?
Implying even in those cultures, Christianity reveals itself. Christianity
my
has
gosh.
revealed itself. It's
All right,
just
bro.
we choose to reject.
Alright, I appreciate that, man. I don't personally agree with that. I don't think people just
I don't
disbelieve
think
because
we
they
agree on
regret
that,
because they're rejecting. I don't think people disbelieve in these things because they're rejecting. I think people need to be convinced of something and then they begin to believe in that thing. But if you fail to convince them, then they're not even going to have the first bit to start believing. Alright, they won't even be able to take the step because there's nothing that's
All right,
convinced them
last
there's a
question,
step.
bro. Is there not design behind the creation on this earth?
No.
So we have no design with us. We're not
No.
made, like there's
Design is something, as I've just explained earlier on, that humans do. Right? If you didn't have a frame of reference,
I would. You're British, right? You know John Lennox, right? I would.
Sorry?
Really. You know who John Lennox is, right?
No,
would
I don't.
Really, you should really go watch him. He's a great British. He's a mathematic. He believes in metaphysics. He basically came up with the idea that metaphysics proves God's existence. You should go
he
look
didn't
into
come up with that. I can assure you, but okay.
Yeah, he probably didn't come up with that, but he's a big. He basically
Like you realize any conversation about God is metaphysics, right?
Oh no, you should just go listen to John Lennox. That's all.
But nah, I appreciate you, right? But in simple,
It'll resonate.
in simple terms, brother. Listen, just listen. Final thing.
British brother.
No, not necessarily, bro. We don't all agree with each other. but listen, yeah.
I think he.
Gosh.
He's a professor at Oxford or
That may be true. That may be true, right? But listen, hear what I'm saying, right? Why there isn't design in that way is because what you're doing is called question begging. You're assuming that there's a creator and a designer already, then you're going around pointing to things and saying, look, the creator designed that thing. Okay, if you didn't have a frame of reference for the creator, the designer, you wouldn't be going around saying, that's a creation, that's a design, right? You wouldn't do that. Simplicity, right? Or complexity simply does not indicate designer, right? That's not how that works. Humans may project our ability to design complex things onto something we're observing, but the thing itself is just raw data and we're adding our perception to that thing. Does that make sense?
I would argue we built off the design and creation.
Well, I guess
We would not have airplanes without birds. We would not have
yeah, I agree.
computers without human beings.
Yes,
brains.
I agree. But what you're doing is the same problem. Those things are natural, brother.
Our mere human brain cannot understand these systems. So
No, nonsense, bro.
I'm about to go.
Nonsense, bro. But I appreciate you, man.
You should
It's
look
a
into
good
John
chat.
Lennox. You should look into John Lennox.
You should look into John Lennon.
Read the Bible.
I'm joking, right? He writes some great songs. But I appreciate you as well, bro.
You have a great rest of your day.
I actually, what's your name, bro? I didn't get your name.
Just say Vati works, bro.
Appreciate you, Vati, man. It's very nice to meet you. Even though we disagree,
nice to meet you,
I
Seth.
do appreciate you as well.
Seth?
Yeah, Set. S-E-T.
Alright,
Alright, thank you,
okay,
man.
one sec.
You too, bro.
should look into John Lennox and read the Bible, bro.
I'll consider it, but I can't guarantee it. Well, one of those things I'll consider. The other one I just won't. I'll let you figure that out, alright? But anyways, I appreciate you. Oh, I disconnected my own character. Alright, so I eat taters. I eat taters or saved foxtrot. Saved foxtrot. Should we flip a coin? Alright, heads will get I eat taters. Tails will get saved foxtrot. We got tails. If you guys are wondering, that's how I make most of the decisions in my life, and they're not always good ones. Hey, what's up, Saved foxtrot?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man, but hearing that, nah, not too well, man. A lot of questions you were asking, I can explain pretty well.
Alright,
You know,
come on
you
then.
said God came down because he felt sorry. No, I think, he came down and he died on that cross to show us. I mean, he did say he resurrected, right? He died on that cross. He came back, showed us. He said, hey, death ain't its end. And if all you got to do is believe in Jesus to get mercy, what is mercy, right? What does mercy mean?
But
by
why would
definition?
anyone
You
think
don't-
that's
you don't
true?
deserve it,
Why would
right?
anyone think that's true?
What do you mean? There's 500 witnesses and there's a Roman Catholic
Yeah,
Church now,
but
and
that
Romans
doesn't
were the
mean
ones that
anything,
killed him.
brother.
Why would they think that's
The question is, why should I think simply believing in Jesus grants me mercy? Why should I think
why do you
that's
believe
true?
that George Washington was the first president of the United
That's a
States?
different question. Different question. Why?
It's history.
Why should I think believing in Jesus grants me mercy?
Okay. You know what? All right. So whenever he was on the cross and they chose to put him on there instead of the murderer, you know, Barabbas, and there was a thief on there and there was another guy right beside him being crucified, one said, okay, if you're the Son of God, get us down. The other said, don't you see that he's being crucified for no reason? And he's up here and he's like, you know what? Just
Should have
remember
chose
me.
surplus
Just
Jesus.
remember me.
What's up, Aston? I see you, bro. Go,
What?
no, I'm
You don't
just
wanna listen?
no, I'm just talking to chat. Right? I'm just saying hello, just acknowledging people.
So, the thief
go on.
who had never known Jesus his whole life didn't deserve it at all. And all he had to do was believe. That was
What?
a
Say
sign
that.
of mercy.
Say that again. Sorry.
The thief that was on the cross beside Jesus,
Yeah.
he asked him to remember me whenever you go to heaven. Because he believed that he was, you know, the Son of God. And that it was true.
So why?
So he
Why?
said, I will remember you whenever I go to heaven. And you will be in the kingdom of heaven. That is in the Bible.
Okay. So
And
why
that is
should
mercy.
I
You
believe?
don't deserve it.
Why should I
I'm
believe?
answering your question.
Yeah, you haven't answered the question. Why should I believe that simply believing in Jesus will grant me mercy?
You know, and
Why
that's
should
what I'm
I
saying,
believe?
honestly. Hey,
Better yet, why should I even think that's a possibility?
You can't think of that until you need it in your life. You may not even need him in your life. Right
So I
now.
guess you don't have an answer then, really. It's just you should just say that.
You can't give certainty to God as a human. You can't do that. I don't
So-
have a burning
so,
bush in
all right.
front of me. As much as I curse
What-
at
what we
God
should
for a
do-
burning bush to give me answers, dude, it don't work like that.
What we
unfortunately.
should
I don't
do,
know
right,
why.
is put down this line of reasoning, because this was based on the last caller, and we should talk about what you actually want to talk about, because you're talking about something that he was talking about, and
Well, a lot
yeah.
of things that you know he was trying to explain, he didn't really explain it well, and gave you a you know an opportunity to drift further from that. You know, you said, you know, God came down as Jesus because he felt bad for us. But
No, I never said
honestly,
that.
What is if you
No.
saw somebody die?
No,
and
no,
they
no.
come back and float in the air, would you be like, holy shit, that might be God?
No.
Or would you be like,
No.
nah, that's AI?
And, well, given the way culture is today, there's like a lot of competing hypotheses that would explain that better than there being a god. Right? Even back then, I reckon there probably were. Right? One of them being magicians and magic, but that's another conversation.
Well, being crucified and stabbed and flailed in front of, you know, thousands of people across
Yep.
of the Middle East is actually
They could have drowned him.
historical fact, you know?
I know,
One of the Romans that actually speared Jesus Christ is a saint in the Roman Catholic Church. So
Yeah.
he didn't
What,
believe in Jesus.
all right,
he killed
but
them,
what has this got to do with anything? All right. So let's get back to the base. All right. No, this is not evidence, bro. This is chat, right? This is things that you believe in. This these are things you believe in, right? Let's get clear on this. These are things that you believe, not matters of fact. You couldn't even answer the question. You couldn't even answer the question, why should someone believe that simply believing in Jesus would grant them mercy? You can't even answer that question. So clearly you don't even know enough about your belief system,
You
right?
want to let me answer? You
Sure,
wanna let me
go
answer?
go
You
for
wanna
it, bro.
keep saying that I'm not answering you, but I'm
Go
answering.
for it.
The New Testament is the whole reason why you believe in Jesus Christ. It explains it. If you read it, all you have to do is believe, buddy. Super simple.
Right.
You
So
could be a piece of
why
shit
should
your whole
I
life,
think
but
that's
mercy
true?
is something that you don't deserve.
Why
That's why you
should
should
I
believe.
think that's true?
Why should you think that's true? I don't know, because it doesn't hurt you. to
What do you
think
mean?
it's true.
What do you mean?
It hurts you to believe in God and have a
Yeah, but that's still not
life
giving me
after
a
that.
reason. That's not giving me a reason to believe any of
It
that's
gives
true.
you a purpose
What
to
if
your life.
What if I could just ask God? What if I could just ask God directly and know Jesus at all? Just ignore Jesus completely.
You don't talk to Jesus when you pray, you talk to God, but
So why should I believing in Jesus would grant me any kind of mercy? Why should I believe that? Or you've not given one good reason yet. I don't think you know how to even answer the question.
it's called faith, buddy. Why do people believe
All
that they're
right,
gonna get paid?
so
at the-
let's-
no. Why do people believe that they're gonna get paid at the end of a week?
Because we have a
when they
contract. Because we have a contract.
work?
You know, like,
What do you think your
trust
soul
me.
is?
If
What do
you
think your
if you
soul
talk
is?
to
No, hold on.
you know
What do you think your
the
soul is?
original inhabitants of that region in the Levant, their whole thing is about contracts, right? if you understand what a covenant with God is, it was the Jews first working out how to run contract. Okay. Yeah, it's a second covenant, exactly, right? A secondary contract, right? But anyways,
sacrifice your children or
right? Yeah, a contract. It's a contract. It's a contract, right? And then what did they do? Instead, just kill Jesus, right? Instead, just kill Jesus. No, we can both talk, bro. Don't be crazy, bro. I can do what I want. I can do what I want. I can do what I want. I can do what I want.
I mean, yeah, you can. That's
right,
free
exactly.
will, like you said.
No.
It's
just called being a host. It's just called being a host. I could be a determinist. Right? So, anyways, right?
But yet you choose not to believe it.
Right. That's cool, right? So you talking about sacrifices, right? The new covenant or what have you, right? You asked me. Let's just track the conversation. Right? What did you say? I asked you, why should I believe in that Jesus would believing in him would get me mercy? You said, well, you believe that you'll get paid at the end of the month or the end of the week, and I told you no, there's a contract, right? And then that went to yeah, you may have seen it, but the reality is there's a contract. That's why you believe you'll be paid, right? In the same way, the Jews, which the extension of their culture becomes Christianity, believe they had a contract with God too, right?
That's not even true. You're just making shit up.
This isn't even that difficult.
Like Christians, bro. The Jews were the ones that killed.
Whoa! Slow down, because now you're going into dangerous territory, right? Look, you're going into dangerous territory because the reality is, reading history, reading history, the biggest perpetrators of anti-Semitism has been Christians. Christians have persecuted and killed Jews by the millions, even the billions probably by now, right? Throughout history. Christians. Ask any real Jew and they'll tell you, right? Because of the shit. No, he was a Catholic. He was a Catholic. Read some. Yeah. Read some. There is a speech where he says, I am a Christian, right? Anyways, right? Anyway, right? Who cares about Hitler? Right? Just because you couldn't take the fact that Christians are the biggest anti-Semites, right? But anyways, right? Christianity is an extension of Judaism, right? The Torah, the Old Testament, is what the New Testament is added onto. It's an extension. So let's not disrespect Judaism. Let us not disrespect Judaism. Let us not do that, because that is foolish. That looks foolish on your part, right? No, bro. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool, right? But without the Jews, you don't get Christianity, yeah?
That shows your character right there.
Jesus was a Jew. Jesus
grew up going to synagogues, learning about his father. He was never
I'm sorry, what? Jesus was a Jew.
Jews on his cross as mocking.
Bro, you lot are pathetic, man.
Buddy.
You lot are pathetic, bro. You're pathetic, bro.
You're like trying to say that Jesus is a
You don't know what I have read and what I haven't read, right? You don't know what I have or haven't read, right? Listen, right? Let's get back to base, right? What is the point you actually want to make? What is the point you actually want to make?
What are you talking about?
Because you've been going on just like chatting shit, right? What is the point you actually want to make?
Question about the Old Testament. Listen. You asked a question about the Old Testament.
What was that question?
Sacrificing their kids.
What was the question?
About the sacrifices, bro.
No, I didn't ask any question. Because there's no question. There was no question. Brother, there was no question, right?
There's no question. How do you get that?
Bro, are you retarded, bruv?
Answer your question, but there's no question.
Are you okay, bruv? Like, this guy's tapped, bruv. Anyways, right? I didn't ask you any question about the Old Testament. You bring up all that stuff about sacrifice, not sacrificing your children with the contract. Yes, I did mute you because you're just rambling like a madman, okay? Thing is, ironically, right, sacrifices didn't stop. All that already happened there was to say, all right, instead of you sacrificing your children and your goats, we'll sacrifice one guy and that guy's going to be Jesus. That's all that happened there culturally. But it didn't actually stop that. Oh my gosh. See what I mean? This is why we can't have these retards up, bruv. Now we got a bloody hate speech violation. It could be because I called him an R word there. It could be that. I'm sorry for calling you that, bro. I apologize. That was unnecessary of me. I apologize. Alright. Flipping hell, man. That's why I can't just talk to just anyone. 'Cause people are crazy. Alright, anyways, I apologize, Save Foxtrot. That was unnecessary of me. That was unkind as well. We'll speak another time. Oh my gosh. Alright, I eat taters. Hope you're
How's it going?
hope you're doing a bit better, bro. How you doing, bro?
Pretty good, pretty good. Got off work early today. Luckily, it's Friday, so there's plenty of time.
Yes, just like actually, how can I say? Let's just forget the other guest even happened. Let's move on. So what do you want to talk about, bro?
Humans invented God. Changed my mind. Yes and no.
All right. Why?
I mean, you know, the concept of God varied widely between all of humanity. Blah 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 blah. But I do believe that there's a source that created things, and I base that pretty much just because of, you know, the Big Bang Theory. Mainly because you have an infinite, not technically infinite, it's a finite amount of mass and energy concentrated in one point that has existed for X amount of time. So if you have all this stuff existing in one space, like a pinprick in space, it's just there, chilling.
Yeah. So is the point you're making that you think something created the Big Bang?
Something interacts with an infinitesimally small source of mass and energy to make it respond to the universe.
I wouldn't say it's that small. It's just like condensed.
Like, yeah, you know,
Talk about all matter in existence, really.
It all compounds down.
But yeah.
The thing is, everything that we know and we experience right now started out as a pinprick in space.
Yeah, I mean that's
And
one way
it's
to
there.
characterize it, brother. That's one way to characterize it.
It is one way to characterize it, but it was all there and it all existed in this tiny, tiny space, and all of this.
But you know, the key thing you're saying is that it was there, it existed.
Yeah, and then what happened to make that react?
I don't know.
Explode, expand.
I don't know, but based on that theory, we know it existed,
There had
right?
to have been an interaction.
Perhaps, maybe.
Something made something happen.
Perhaps, right?
What it
But
was, nobody knows. But
yeah, how does that get us to God, though? How does that get us to God, though, as we understand God to be?
there has to be an outside force to make something that exists respond.
I don't necessarily agree with that.
As far as what we experience,
Just in general, right? Because everything we're speaking about right now is conjecture, of course. Like, we can't know any of this stuff.
it is. It is. It's all conjecture. But scientifically speaking, if all energy and mass existed in a point, as far as we know, in a small point, and it existed there, right? Just it all was there, and then it all just projected out. Something had to have caused a reaction. And what that would have been, nobody really knows. It's all conjecture, but something would have to cause a reaction.
Well, yeah, in some ways I agree, but I don't see any reason to call that thing God. Because as I understand it, God is an invention of human minds.
And eventually, right. But if something's causing a reaction to something that exists with nothing else around it, it's space.
Sorry,
Space and
what?
matter. Space and matter, right? So, you picture space. It's vast, it's largely empty, because energy is produced via matter, right?
Matter is energy.
Exactly. So energy and matter existed in a small point at its very earliest form, as far as we understand, right? and it all existed in this tiny, tiny point.
Yeah, you've said this, brother, but you're not getting to
Yeah, I know,
a
but
significant
what
you're not getting to the overarching point. Right? If you're asking me what caused the Big Bang, that doesn't necessarily make sense as a question. It really depends on what you understand the Big Bang to be. Okay, it's possible to say there are things beyond the Big Bang if you subscribe to a certain type of Big Bang, but it's really a semantic argument. There are different types of Big Bangs. Right? Well, there's different types of what they called models, because a Big Bang, like singularity, what you're talking about, a tiny pinprick expanding, is a model, right? There are also other models like the ekpyrotic model, which is cyclical, so it's continuous, big bounces, big crunches, essentially an eternal universe. There's multiverse models, right? Multi-universe models, right? But all of that
It's still a
has
reactionary
little to do with gods, like from a biblical sense, or even gods from just even a pantheistic sense, right? A philosophical sense.
Do you want a biblical sense? Do you want a pantheistic sense? Or do you want a
I'm
scientific
asking, right? So why don't you tell me what you believe in, and we'll try to understand if that is it's possible for that to be responsible for it.
Okay, well, based on science, everything existed in a small point, and it existed there for an infinite time, because we can't measure time beyond the Big Bang.
It depended on what kind of Big Bang model you subscribe to.
We can look back into the universe and say, well, it started somewhere out there because matter becomes more dense over there.
Right, but get to the point. What is it you believe in, and how can we know that thing's responsible for it?
Something caused a reaction within the universe to create an explosion to produce all matter and energy. Because matter and energy cannot exist in a finite space without a causal reaction.
So again, I'll ask you again.
Something
Right?
forced all of matter
What
and energy.
kind of God do you believe in?
Yeah. What kind of God?
Yes. What is the God that you believe in? Do you believe in a God?
I would say it's a random event created by
Alright,
something.
thanks, bro. That guy is ashamed of being a Christian, bro. How embarrassing. Anyone else want to talk before we end that side of the stream? I asked a guy like 3 times, bro, just being disingenuous. I ain't really got that kind of patience. It's like Big Bang or no Big Bang. What do you believe in? It's not even a difficult question. Alright. Cool beans. I'll stick around for a bit longer. Maybe something interesting happens, maybe not. What a shame. What a shame indeed. Let's hurry up and get to this damn DLC, man. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Alright, feel free to request that if you actually want to. I will make it so it's obvious that you can request, because some people aren't aware. Also, we've got restrictions, so some people can't even see it. There's that. Quick, you're wasting magic. Whoop. I've noticed if you attack him as he's doing an attack, you get way more damage. I don't know if that's meant to happen that way or it's just like coincidental. So this guy's licking my blood. Ooh. I'm dead. I should have charged up in that time. Now I'm cooked. Oh my days, you son of a snip. Oh! Back rolled. Right, so if you want to request up, come up. Yes, I would agree, you did invent me. Do you want to know why I think that? Come up and I'll explain it to you. Ooh, that's a mess up. Yikes. So I know better than to use foul language as well, so silly. You gotta come to TikTok if you want to request. Come to TikTok and you press the little blue and the red man. Quick, bro. Guy's so wild. Oh no! Just about to drink. I was gonna take him out there as well. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Can I call you up? You have been called. You have been called, my son. Did you see it? I guess you didn't see it. You, it looks like you got like 0 followers. I think you need like a minimum 50 maybe. I might be wrong. But yeah, if you got like 0 followers, you're probably not gonna be able to go live. Oh, you might need to be on mobile as well. You might need to be on mobile. I'm not sure how it works on the desktop. User on breath. That's a good shout, T-Gamer. But I've always beat him this way. I'm just not really playing properly. It's not locked in. I hate that he can do that. He swings on one side and hits you on the other. Oh, we're there already. I'm dead. Damn it. Didn't realize it was that low already. What's up, James? Nah, you can't call him from YouTube. I've not got anything set up for you to do it like that. Alright folks, if we could tap that like. I know there's only like 8 people in here. Probably majority of people are ops and not actually here for the actual chats. But if we could, we got a 10-minute restriction, so I'm trying to figure out if that's actually reduced or not. Appreciate you, Aston. What's up, Sork? I see you, bro. Hey, it's my own fault. I shouldn't have called the guy that R word. I'm on New Game 5, bro. it was my own fault, really. I think, I mean, I can't be sure if it was that or if it was extensively talking about Judaism. I can't really be sure which one it was. But, no lies, it's actually a fact. Historically, the biggest anti-Semites in history have been Christians. So historically, it's absolute fact. I can't put you on. You need to come over here. So, the most unenlivened of Jewish people has been from Christians. Probably still is, unfortunately. Because you get guys who think like the last caller or the caller before last. No. Oh, I hate you can do that. It's like one like spins on a dime. His attack goes from like this way completely right. Yeah, I was a rock player. I don't even call people that I was. Just that was unnecessary. I apologise for that. It's one unnecessary. But to be clear, right, I don't actually think people with disabilities are the R word. I don't even use the R word to refer to people with disabilities. I think in the time we live in now, you would I understand there's a history behind the word for sure, a very derogatory history behind it, but I think you'd be doing yourself a disservice if you were to identify as that when the word's used, and I don't think people with disabilities do identify as that. So just to be clear, when I say the R word, I'm definitely not indicating that. I just mean you're being like belligerent. You're being like a... Hello, Westside.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? How you doing?
Good, good. I was just watching, reading your prompt, and I don't believe that we can create a bigger entity than ourselves. Like, all around the world, right, with all of these religions, they have slightly different, like, gods, but the belief itself and the faith, it's pretty much the same nationwide, worldwide.
In a way.
Explain. In a way, yes. It's very, very similar, but slightly different.
Yeah.
Religion is a form of control and power, of course. We've come to know this. But besides that, disconnect religion from God, because God didn't want to be one of them, a Christian. So
I mean, how could you know?
They didn't want to. He didn't want to be that, because why do you think they put him on the cross? Because he was rebelling. He was going against. He was preaching different beliefs. He was preaching love, different things that they didn't want. They didn't want the people to know that the power is within them. That the power.
In a way.
Power. It's
But
anti-gravity.
wait, are you Christian yourself? Whoa, that was a big jump. But are you Christian yourself?
I'm not Christian. I'm not religious, but I do believe in God. I'm spiritual, but not religious. SBNR.
What? I understand. It's just like an acronym. I get it. All right. So, but that being said, you just refer to Jesus as God, though. So that's very much so a Christian belief.
I mean, well, I didn't really say Jesus. He's Jesus. Also, keep in mind that the Bible, the names in the Bible, they have created the names. They've changed words around to fit the narrative of the people that they want. The people in power have changed their narrative so it can fit them. The image of God itself is pure. He's the entity is greater than we can see. We can't. It's way beyond the eye's view.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't be able to see God by definition. Well, depending on the type of God you believe in, you wouldn't be able to see God because it's thought to be an immaterial spirit. So obviously you can't see it.
But the stories They've changed it from 88 stories to 66 stories. So some of the parts in the Bible of Jesus are missing from the age from like maybe
Yeah, I
10 or
heard that.
12 to like 30 something, right? And it just makes sense. Use discernment here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing is, what's at the base of all that? Before we even start talking about the things that may or may not be in the Bible, the question is, why should we believe any of that's true at all?
With the Bible, I don't exactly. I believe I would say you would have to read and comprehend and figure out what's real, what's not, what's metaphorical.
How would you do
You know
that?
what I mean? By reading. You know
Of
when you
course.
comprehend and you read
All right,
something
but
in
say,
a book.
let's say the base of the whole thing, right? Like the first part of the Bible or Christianity or Judaism, even. It's really Judaism that's passed to Christianity, as I was trying to explain to that last guy, right? Let's say like the founding principle of everything that follows is apparently there's some guy called God, and he made the world, and then he made humans. Like, you know, let's say that's the founding thing of the whole book. The whole book's relying on that to be true. Why should I believe that part is true that allows for the rest of it to be true?
Well, I don't
Or some
exactly-
parts of the rest of it.
Here's the thing: the Bible has been manipulated by the human
Even so.
mankind. Like, say there was a book, right? Way before like us, and there was other people and other entities and aliens and dinosaurs and blah 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 that went extinct, right? But besides that, there were stories, and there was like they would paint instead of words, they would paint, you know, so they can tell their story in paintings and drawings. Like they didn't really know how to communicate. So even besides that, and the Bible being transferred and paying someone to write the scripture and making them to be like, this is what it is, believe this, believe us, we're right. It's a little bit of discernment. It's like, what do you believe in? Who are you? You know what I mean? Like, then it becomes to question everything that you grew up to believe.
Yeah, I
You
think
were born
I think
into
the
a religion,
discernment
right?
I think the discernment needs to start at the base of it, like I just said. Why should anyone believe that there's a God that created any of this?
Because of the faith. The faith itself.
That's
it's
secondary.
like it can be secondary, but it's also a big part of what do you believe in as a human being, as an operator of your brain, because we're operating in frequencies here. You know, currency is a wave of frequency and etc. And it goes beyond quantum physics. It's just like it's all of it. It's kind of intertwined and connected.
I mean,
But it goes down to the human being and
I-
what do you believe
I'll be
in.
honest with you, right? Like you're. Alright, so fundamentally, I understand what you're saying is that you follow more spirituality than like rigid religion, right? Fairs. Acknowledging the harms and the dangers of religion is something that I want to see more people do, which is good, which is dope, right? But the secondary problem is what's happening with your ideas or your views on spirituality, and it's leading you to say, or at least speak in a way which is what's considered called apophenia, right? It's when people say a bunch of things and they think they're connected, but they're not actually connected. So it's like very scattered thoughts. It's not consistent. Right? It's not. There's no It's not. It's
I
not.
believe
There's
that
no
they are,
cohesion.
though.
Right?
I believe that there's some cohesions to certain things,
It's not
such as
cohes-
belief
it's
and
not
things that we
cohesive.
cannot see.
No,
Faith.
I understand what you're saying, but like if you, obviously it's very hard for us to hear ourselves, right? Because I do this shit all the time, right? I don't
For
know what I
sure.
sound like to myself. I'm just being me, right? But the
Right.
way you're explaining, you jump from Christianity, God on the cross, to frequencies, to spirituality, like it's all over the place. So it's not like an actual cohesive through line between what you're saying. When I ask you a
Yes,
question,
it might not be.
it devolves into something completely abstract. Right? Now, obviously, it's all abstract, but there has to be a through line in it, or else we need to ask ourselves, why do we think these things? Why do we believe these things at all?
Because we're human beings and we're here to live a life experience, and our life experience evolves. As human beings, we evolve and we change and we grow. And then when you become an adult, I guess you can say, there's things that we are born into, like say religion, like Christianity, Catholicism, whatever. And then when you grow up, you decide whether or not you want to continue to believe that belief, or do you choose another religion. You have choices, right? And whatever makes sense to you, I would say, go with that belief.
I think that's dangerous though. I think it's about fundamentally, like you said, most of us have been indoctrinated as children. So I think we need to be able to get the tools to like, you know, I can't like act as if I'm above anybody else. I'm just a normal guy as well. But we need to find ways.
What? I'm sorry?
Yeah, we need to find ways to obtain the tools for critical thought, rational thought. And once we obtain those tools, then we need to start examining these beliefs that we've been indoctrinated with. What's behind them? Why should we think them? What's at the what's the fundamental point of these beliefs? And if people don't arrive at the point where they've got the tools to start examining the beliefs, then they really just they're in a dangerous place, and then they go on to espouse more dangerous ideas, which causes more chaos down the road. So it's not like, to me, it's not a matter of just believe what you want. I used to think that, like, even if sometimes when I'm in an optimistic mood and I just can't be bothered to argue, right, it's like, yeah, just let them think what they want. But the reality is, if I do care about our shared reality, it's not actually conducive to harmony for me to just say, yeah, think what you want. Because thinking what you want or believing what you want affects our shared reality. It affects me, it affects Jane, it affects Westside Bonnie, right? So if Westside Bonnie has this belief that allows for this totalitarian or authoritarian action in our real world, then we need to address what Westside Bonnie believes, because Westside Bonnie's beliefs are playing out through her actions. So it's dangerous to just say believe what you want.
No, I didn't. Not exactly in that way. It's more of, you know, physics itself. They don't deny nor confirm that Jesus, or, you know, that entity or that person exists or didn't exist.
But what's the relevance to what I've just said?
Well, scientists, they don't deny that Jesus did not exist.
Yeah, but the point of what I just said to you,
science.
the point of what I've just said to you is, why should you say it's okay to just believe what you want to believe? Why aren't we questioning those beliefs?
Well, maybe you misunderstood me in the way that I said that. Maybe I said it in a different way. I didn't express myself correctly. I believe that if a person, they go down their, like, say, spiritual route, and they, you know, learn to love themselves. It's love. It goes down to the basic thing as love and authenticity are one of the two most highest frequencies a human being can operate in, because we are frequency, we are energy. And a lot of people don't understand that whatever you do put out into the universe will directly come back to you eventually.
Why should anyone think that's true? Right? Because if we look at the world,
science.
It's not. If we look at the world, right,
it is.
We don't find karmic cycles to be a thing.
It is
when we actually examine the world.
I believe I've done a little bit of my research, and I believe to be that's true. Physics and science have made some sense to me in that way.
In what
where,
way?
Say the documentary of The Secret and What the Bleep Do We Know and things like that.
What, The Secret? That's nonsense. That's money grabbing nonsense.
What the bleep do we know? Have you watched
I don't
that
know.
one as well?
I've not watched that. I know The Secret as the book, the woman who wrote that book.
There's
That's
a
nonsense.
documentary, which is the way that you interpret the book and the way that you watch the documentary is slightly different.
Yeah, but to be clear with you, right, a documentary isn't a primary source, specifically if you're talking about anything scientific or historical.
It's one source. It's not a primary source, but it's a source.
So, but the main point of it is entertainment. That's why it's a documentary. So you can be informed. You can be informed by it, but the main point of it is entertainment. So we should take that off the table based on what we're talking about. So
I don't think so, because it's still some form of information that makes it to be understandable to what you're trying to believe.
In a way, yes. If you was talking about something, let's say a panorama type of piece, like an investigative journalist, right? Yes, that kind of documentary is informative, or even something studying societal effects. That is informative. But when you start talking about spirituality and metaphysics, you won't find documentaries that actually inform you in that way. It's just an expression of ideas through entertainment. It's not about informing you.
It's all about perception. Perception is a big part of how you see the world, how we see the world, how I see the world, and everybody else.
True.
And the way that it affects each other. So it's kind of like a chain reaction to what you put out into the world, a reaction and an action.
That's why I think it's dangerous to just be having these like random beliefs that could just put you anywhere.
No, they're not random. If they make sense to you, I believe as a human being.
Yeah, but
And if, like, say you believe certain things and they make sense to you, and it's not harming anyone, I don't
yeah,
see
but
any
the thing is, right, to
harm,
say
any
something
chaos in that.
to say something makes sense to you is one thing, right? But then there's like, you know, not to
Right.
like steal from Christianity, but there's that whole leading on your own understanding thing. But philosophically, you can say, well, actually, what sense do I know, right? Can I even trust my senses? Should I be testing this elsewhere? Should I be comparing? Should I be studying other people's views? Because, like, so, for instance, like again, like I said with the apophenia thing, it's a bunch of random things that appear connected but aren't really connected. To the individual, the individual may be experiencing something like psychosis or schizophrenia. To them, it makes perfect sense, but in the shared reality, it's incoherent. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, those are human diagnosis as well that another, say, doctor or
But
a
we would
person
say
have diagnosed us.
we'd say it happens though, doesn't it?
Yes, but that is also, I believe, is man-made because yes, they've created diseases, they've created
Yes,
viruses,
I
they've created
I would agree that you
things
can
like that,
induce. I would agree that you can induce mental illnesses. I would agree that you can
right?
do that, right? But I
Yes.
would say one of the things that helps to create those things is these kinds of spiritual views because they're so inconsistent and incoherent. They allow you to go in all of these weird places without anyone
What
saying,
makes you
"Hold
say
up,
that?
hold up, right? Let's apply some critical thinking to this, right?" If
Uh-huh.
there's no points in which where someone or even yourself stops and thinks, actually, why should I believe this? What's behind this? Then it opens the door for all of those kinds of mental illnesses because you stop reality testing and now you think, what? You make reality whatever you think it should be
No,
rather than
no, no, no.
interact with it as it is.
No, I believe that a person in schizophrenia or something doesn't really have the control of their mind and the correct function in their brain to work, to have the logic, to understand and coexist with anybody.
No, it's not true. There are plenty of intelligent people that experience psychosis and schizophrenia. You could be highly
They can
intelligent
be.
and
What's the
still
percentage?
experience all of these things, right?
What's the percentage?
I don't know by percentage. I couldn't say it, right? I definitely couldn't say it. I'm just simply saying the human in general is not immune to these like psychological issues.
Right, and the
In
percentage
general.
that I'm saying of what people can connect to, what if do they understand that it is wrong? You know what I mean? Like
But
their
here's the thing, right?
actions.
Here's the thing, right? Forget the actions. We're talking about the belief systems. One could say a lot of these spiritual belief systems
Yeah.
and religious belief systems or beliefs that within the systems are an expression of schizophrenia or psychosis because they're not coherent with reality.
Where their actions can lead to their belief system
Before you even take an
reacting
action,
that way.
before you even take an action, if you
They're gonna
don't
think
if
about,
you don't
okay,
ask
I'm gonna
yourself,
go
why
murder
should I
this
think?
guy, right?
No, that's an expression of your belief. But if you just if I was just to say to you, right, there is a pink fairy made of milkshake, and sometimes
Yeah.
she listens to my dreams and she answers my prayers, and I get rewarded every time I speak my ideas to the pink fairy. If you just accept that, right, that is a departure from reality to accept that belief. But that belief of the pink milkshake fairy isn't that much different to a religious or a supernatural spiritual belief. I just made it comical with the pink and the milkshake. But if I remove the pink and the milkshake and I say there's this entity that listens to my dreams, I speak to it and it does things for me. Now I've gone past the ridiculous into things that people might actually believe. So now it has a veneer of validity to it.
Well, that would be your belief,
No,
right?
I'm explaining to you, if you don't have the critical thinking to question the entity itself, regardless if it's a milkshake entity or a Jesus entity,
Right.
you're playing into the same kind of schizophrenia. Right? You're departing from reality.
To a certain extent, yes.
Right, so if no one at any point says, hold up, stop, right, you're going to keep going further and further and further down that same departure from reality. Then you're going to try with your actions based on your beliefs to live out that false reality in our shared reality. Religious psychosis, like,
It can
bad
be.
things.
Well, that can lead up to that, sure. I'm not saying that it won't happen. Is it rare? Possibly. You know what I mean?
It's not rare, it's common.
Is it common? How common is it?
It's common. Think about the things that have happened historically through religious beliefs. People thinking they've spoken to spirits, people thinking they've communicated with the dead, people thinking that they've spoken to God and God spoke to them, and then going out and then acting those things. Or saying, as simple as saying, you know, hey, Westside, God told me to tell you, etc., etc., etc. That's an expression of that same psychosis.
I guess, I mean, if you believe that that's what it is, some people, I guess, let's agree to disagree. You know, you can have your
I don't
beliefs,
think
and
we
I
can
have my beliefs.
we can agree to disagree if it's,
Yeah.
if our points are being understood, but I don't think the
I
point is
understand where
being
you're coming
understood.
from. Do I agree with the things that you're saying? Probably not, because I have my
Why?
beliefs as well. Which
Give
doesn't make
reasons.
it wrong.
Give
It doesn't
reasons.
make it. It doesn't. I believe that it doesn't. It doesn't make it wrong for me to believe that there's a higher entity out there beyond ourselves.
Yeah, that's fine, but that's very broad. But if we was to zoom in on the subject itself, right? If you're to subscribe to there might be an entity out there, right? That can lead you down like an infinite amount of paths. You can start believing in lizard people, you can start believing in fairies, you can start believing in Jesuses, prophets, ghosts, ghouls, frequencies, magic, manifestation. You could go anywhere because you've opened up the door without any guidelines.
Sure. It doesn't. It doesn't exactly make it wrong, but if you're not harming anyone,
It can be
right?
wrong. No, but it can be wrong. If you if what you're saying is a departure from reality, then by like our shared reality, we can say that that's wrong.
I don't believe it's a departure from reality. I believe is connected because connecting to the earth and the earth itself, we like say back in the day, I would say with my ancestors, right? They would believe that, you know, certain things, connecting with the rivers and grounding yourself and things like that. You know, the trees are alive. You know, they take some type of form of rest. You know what I mean? They can hear. They're alive. We connect. If we take care of the earth, you know, most likely would take care of us. And being connected to the world itself, where we live in, our universe.
Yes, but that's quite natural on a materialistic level.
Okay.
I mean, like I don't know. You're referring to like a Native American type of ancestry.
Yeah. Well, I'm Purupecha, from the indigenous Mexican descent.
Okay,
you
that's
know?
pretty cool.
And so they were very connected to Earth, and they believed that taking care of the Earth and, you know, producing your own crops and things like that.
But
you
that's
know, they were
practical,
very
isn't it?
healthy. Yes, it can be practical, but also they gave love to the earth, and the earth showed them love as well by producing crops and, you know, clean rivers and things
Yeah,
like that.
but
So,
but that's a so look. There's the material reality of you interacting with the earth, right? Man has a drive to transform the earth, and we turn that drive to transform the earth into work, into capitalism, etc. But at the base of it, that's a direct interaction with the substance that you are which you are a part of, right? Humans are a much part of earth as earth is a part of us in a weird way. That bit's cool, right? You can then start to stack the spirituality on top of that and say, you know, like the spirit of the river speaks to me, the spirit of the tree speaks to me, the spirit of the animal speaks to me. Fine, right? But there's a certain point at time, right? Maybe not individually because we're talking about centuries of things happening there, where it goes from I'm like assigning agency to these natural things to I'm creating something outside of the natural world now.
sure.
I'm going beyond the rivers, I'm going beyond the trees, I'm going beyond the animals, I'm going beyond my ancestors to something super supernatural. Something that I can't describe, something I can't explain, but I act like it's concrete, and then I work down and act like everything is a part of this thing. That's where it gets problematic. The ancestry interacting with the land is practical.
Sure.
Do you know?
That makes sense to me. Sure.
It's still part of the same natural ecosystem.
Definitely.
But like the things that we might find in the Bible, or you know, like in other like, I don't even know what they would call them these days. They're like
Yeah, that's what I'm
they're not
saying.
really
The
new age
Bible.
anymore. They're just
Yeah.
I would just call them internet beliefs, right? If they're like bullshit things that people put on the internet and people subscribe to, usually because of vulnerability, quite usually in the same way that religion functions. A lot of these conspiracy theorists and spiritual ideas function in the same way. They prey on that vulnerability, and then people subscribe to these things, and it becomes their whole personality. And then they depart from the practicality, like what, say, your ancestors might have done. A good portion of their life would probably have been devoted to working the land anyway. Whereas you, me today, our portion of life isn't that. So we're departed from the actual practical part. So we spend way more time in the idealistic part.
Yes, we have been disconnected as human beings. I
There you
believe
go.
that we need to practice more love and more unison and more kindness, compassion, and grace with everybody else than what is happening. There's a lot of hate in the world and things like that. So, with that being said, I actually have to take this call.
I appreciate you, Westside Bunny.
I appreciate you.
Westside Bunny, you must deprogram from the internet. Get away from it. It's bad juju. Alright. Anyone else want to talk to me before I bounce out? What was I going to do again? I was trying to activate the DLC, but I can't seem to find a way to do it. Now, I've been there before, but the last time I got to the DLC, the whole game was damn near complete already, so maybe there's a certain requirement. So I should be able to activate it here. No, that's main game. Yeah, no, it should be. I should be able to touch his hand and go there. I appreciate you, Rick Sells, bro. Appreciate you. Sup, Art? I see you. How you doing? Sup, Art? I heard your voice the other day, you know. Low-key. Yes, there are enough resources for all of us here, Big Murphy. They clearly are, right? It's just a matter of combating exploitation and waste. Surplus. There's enough resources. There always will be. No, you won't say anything. Double. Yeah, there's definitely greed. All right, I'm not sure what it is. There's a requirement to trigger the NPC. The NPC has to come in, and then I need to touch the hand of that guy. But man, I've been here for ages, and we've been algorithmically suppressed. And I called that guy the R word. So it's just all the odds are against us. Not too bad, Art. Appreciate you. I'm gonna pack it up now, though. I think you just reached member level 10. Hopefully, I see you on the stream tomorrow. Alright, folks. I'm gonna call it a day. Hope you got some interest out of this, or, you know, whatever. I'll see you later. Got some interest out of this? I don't know.